Hey, welcome to the Black Guy Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host.
Karen.
And we're live on a Sunday morning, ready to do some podcasting. Full disclosure, we thought Dominic Rivera was going to be here as a guest. We booked it, but I don't know. Something must have happened.
Yeah.
I haven't got, I double checked, I triple checked, I texted him, and then nothing. So hopefully brother's okay. But this is one of the downsides of making plans with blacks, The official weapon of the show is
phone chair
and the unofficial sport.
bullet ball.
And bullet ball extreme. Because I thought Don was going to be here, I didn't really plan out a full episode. I thought we'd be doing a lot of talking and having fun and just kicking it. So
No problem.
I guess we'll just kind of randomly get around to some different stories and stuff like that. But I didn't prepare any specific like banter or whatever, but can't at least not that I remember. But I have to see if I have any. But Karen, do you have any banter that you want to talk about?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter. All right, Karen.
This Christmas, this year, well, actually the past few years, I've been kind of getting more Christmassy. We have like a little small Christmas tree that we plug up. We got ornaments and stuff on it, and I like it. It sits on the table. I unplug it the bulk of the year, and I plug it up literally right the day after Thanksgiving, and I just keep it on for the rest of the year, probably until like a week or two into January. And I just like it because it just makes me happy. It's bright, it's colorful, it sits in the corner, and it just brings me like joy. And so Roderick, we was out, and Roderick ended up getting me a SpongeBob SquarePants sweater, kind of just out the blue. I was like, oh, I like this. And
It's not a SpongeBob SquarePants sweater. It was a Christmas sweater.
Oh, yeah, yes, that's what I meant, a Christmas sweater, not just any type of sweater. It's specifically a Christmas sweater. And I like it, and I wore it around, and when we went, did the marathon, not the marathon, the 5K, it was this lady that was like walking around the track. She was actually participating, but like the people that were standing, she would like give them candy and give them like these headbands and things like that. And she ended up giving me and your mama a headband. And one of the headband was like a Santa Claus headband. So when I had got up on Christmas Day, I actually was like, you know what, let me go visit some of my folks. So I got up and I was like, I'm gonna visit some of my folks. So I put on that sweater and put on that headband, and I had like some red earrings and like some red necklaces and things like that. And I went and I had a ball, and everybody was just complimenting on it. Well, I think we had went out like at the Hornets game, and people was talking about it and things like that, because Roger had his Christmas stuff on too. And I know it might sound silly, but for the first time ever, I was like, oh, I get why people actually wear it, because I realized it just makes you happier. Because I realized when I put it on, it's bright. Like, it's just me, if that makes sense. Like, me personally, it's bright, it's colorful, it's cheerful, and I like to wear stuff like that. The brighter the better, baby. Child, if it's blinding you, I'm most likely gonna pick it. If it's something shimmery and sparkly, I got the taste of a 10-year-old when it comes to shit like that, and don't care. So, and I realized that it makes me happy and things like that. So that's kind of a tradition I think I'm going to stick with. I really just enjoy, even if I don't do it too frequently, just enjoy just going out and just wearing, that type of stuff around this time of the year, because it's literally really the only time of the year that you can just wear that stuff out in public, and everybody's just kind of cool with it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it took you that long to kind of get into that thing. I have a few Christmas sweaters, not a lot, but just like 2 or 3, because it's not really something you can just bust out in June. But as an extrovert that always loves attention and talking to all these strangers and getting compliments from weirdos and shit like that, I'm surprised that you don't have stuff like that just for the attention of it, because people will just start coming up to you and talking and stuff. I mean, even when I wear mine, I know that, you know, the potential of somebody looking at my shirt and smiling, you know, saying I like your sweater or whatever is a lot higher. So, you know, I don't wear them all the time, but sometimes I wear them and, you know, you get a little compliment or somebody gets a little laugh out of it. And, you know, a lot of my shirts are like that anyway, based on that stuff. So I am a little surprised that that's not something you ever thought about before, because it just seems like you know, as an extrovert, you're constantly begging for interaction and attention everywhere we go.
And I don't know why either, but it's just one of those things where I think this year was the first year I was like, you know what, I'm kind of going to go all out, because, you know, you wear stuff but you don't really pay attention and things like that. But I was like, no, I'm actually going to coordinate and just, you know, go all out. And I really, really had a ball. I was like, oh, I understand why people, you know, do this and dress up, because it makes you feel better, makes people around you feel better. Like you said, it's that interaction thing. And so I think that this is a tradition that I'm going to continue to do.
Keep going.
Oh, and also, for those of you that don't listen to like the behind the paywall at the pregame, I started getting into romantic novels.
No, they need to pay for this. Okay, this is not for the broke people, Karen. This is for people behind the paywall that got the money that support the show. So y'all should listen to the pregame.
Okay, never
Karen
mind.
was talking about romantic novels and stuff you could hear on Amazon.
Never mind.
I mean on Spotify and everything.
I mean,
okay, you know what? Go ahead and break these broke niggas off, Karen. Go ahead.
I mean, can I give him 5 cents?
Yeah, give them 5 cents.
Thank you. All I was gonna say was, because of everything been going on with the election and all that stuff, I realized that I was listening to a whole lot of political podcasts. I didn't realize how many multiple political podcasts that I was listening to until after the election. I was hurt, sad, pissed, depressed, and I was like, fuck that and fuck y'all. And since after the election, I haven't listened to a political podcast. I might listen to like something where they give snippets of this is what's happening, but I haven't really sat down and listened to anything in depth. And I realized, I was like, hey, I ain't really got nothing to listen to. Like, I really was analyzing this. I was like, God damn, I listened to a lot of political podcasts. Once I started kind of scraping that shit out of my life and was like, no, y'all were part of the problem. And not to say that I won't go back, but as of right now, I don't see it happening anytime soon. Because like I said, I will be informed, but I personally am not going to be in depth and deep diving and wanting to find. I refuse. I like as of right now, like I said, this will probably change, but as of right now, I don't have the strength nor the energy to pour into shit that I already knew was gonna happen. I don't have the time or the energy to listen to people cry about the choices that they made, and me supposed to have compassion for them because y'all wrapped it up in a sad song and put a kid or a face across it, and I'm supposed to go po you. I cannot do that bullshit. I just can't. And so for me, I just literally just tapped out. So to fill up that space, I was like, what can I do to fill up that space? So I started doing audiobooks. And so I realized that I know that if you're Spotify Premium, you get so many hours free. I also do Audible too, because I actually really listen to a lot of audiobooks. And a lot of people have been telling me the public library also have like audiobooks you can do. So, you know, if you're actually looking for something to kind of tie your time up, that's actually, you know, alternatives that you can do. And I've been listening to a lot of sexual graphic novels and things like that. And it's been
What is a sexual graphic novel?
I don't want to say sexual. Well, they talk about sex in it. I don't know. A sexual
You say
audiobook.
graphic novel?
Audiobook.
Oh, okay. Audiobooks. Okay, cool. I know what a graphic novel is.
Yes.
I've never heard of an audio graphic novel. That's why I was asking.
That's what I meant to say. And and somebody said it's porn. It kind of is porn. It's just they basically describes it out to you. It's not all porn because it's like relationships and love, you know, and things like that. But Yeah, Spotify got this thing where you can share, and I guess I joined by accident. And next thing Roger know, he off doing something, and next thing you know, it's like, and he thrust his manhood into her quivering thighs, and Roger's like, "The fuck is this?" I was listening to Kendrick, so I apologize. But I have a ball listening to those, and they do. If you're looking for the mahogany and the black folks, they're out there too. In any genre you can think of, vampires and werewolves and all that type of stuff. It's actually really enjoyable, and this is for people who are looking for things to kind of top their time.
Do you know the name of the books, or you just, because I mean, I'm sure that the next question we're going to get on a bunch of these emails and comments is like, what books are you talking about? I'm always looking for some sex books or whatever. Okay. So since you brought it up,
okay,
do you know the name of any?
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Well,
okay.
Unless you got something, go ahead. I got to look for them.
Okay. Well, but yeah, I was like about to take a shower, and I turned my Bluetooth speaker on whenever I take a shower so I can listen to podcasts or music. And next thing I know, I hear through the Bluetooth being, like, his quivering manhood was thrust into her pulsating mounds. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I like Tyler the Creator as much as anybody, but is this a prank? What is he putting on these albums? And I was like, okay, so that's what Karen be listening to in here on the headphones when I think she's listening to music and podcasts. She's in here listening to people talk about cocks and and quivering mounds and heaving bosoms and shit.
Why, yes, that's exactly what I'm listening to, child, 'cause that's better than what the fuck is going on outside right now. Mm-hmm. It's just a motherfucking distraction. One of them I'm listening to right now is called Hello Billionaire. That's one of them I'm listening to.
I thought billionaires is bad people. Is they fucking billionaires in this book?
I guess they is.
I guess they bad unless you can fuck them. Which does make sense. That does line up with people's politics. So go ahead.
Yes, and it actually does line up with folks' politics. And so so I've been that's the one I've been listening to right now. A black one I've been listening to. I downloaded it. It's called Curvy Girl Summer. Mm-hmm. That's one. Another black one is called Somebody's Wife. So those are like, two mm-hmm. that I found that are kind of black centric. Because a lot of them, if you find a lot of them are white. Because we're out there too, but we kind of have to dig through the whiteness to find the chocolate in their mix of it. Mm-hmm. The white ones are good too, but child, you're gonna hear a lot of cock. And things like that, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll just add, speaking of porn, I follow of course our girl who's been on the show multiple times as a guest, Sarah J, the porn star.
Mm-hmm.
And she had retweeted Olivia J, a different porn star. Olivia J said, "I would love to play a hot neighbor, fitness instructor, lawyer, nurse, teacher, librarian, cop, musician, fashion designer, assassin, scientist, or spy. But weird incest porn is king." And she was quote tweeting another person who was saying how she doesn't like the incest porn. And Sarah J quote tweeted and said, "Fully agree. You could be a doctor and somehow they label it as a mommy doctor. It's annoying as fuck. Mm-hmm. I don't want to fuck any family members ever. And the thought of it makes me want to hurl." And all I could think was like, damn, porn the job too. Mm-hmm. Like everybody else got complaints about their job. But obviously there are different complaints. But that's funny. Like you're a porn star. You just want to fuck people for a living on camera to get money. Right. It's fine whether you enjoy it or not, but at the end of the day, they got frustrations the same way we got frustrations. You show up to work, they want everybody to wear the holiday sweater. They want, they want you to say such and such to the customers or whatever. And for them, it's this incest shit. It's, you show up, it's like, listen, I'm already gonna fuck this dude on camera. And, what are we doing today? And it's like, oh, nah, we got to have a plot. And it's like, okay, what's the plot? He helping me at the gym? Nah, he's helping you at the gym, but you know what? Also yours, mom. Like, Like, it's just weird that they throw it in, and I don't even really know what controls that. Like, who asked for it? Like,
right?
Did they, like, is it chicken or egg? Because what I imagine is someone had to provide that first before people went, I'm gonna click on this more than I would click on just a normal porn video where these two people are fucking. So in my mind, you got a person that's the director or whatever, and the first incest video had to be like, okay, we just gonna have the bang bus, you gonna fuck some dudes in the bus or whatever, and you know what, actually this time say you his mom. And it's like, who want to see that?
Right.
I think people do want to see you fuck, like they want to see you be his mom and have sex with him in the van. And it's like, I don't think so. That I don't know why anyone would like that. Trust me on this one. We've done some focus group testing, and this is what the people want.
Right. And also, as somebody who has seen a lot of porn, I have seen the same clip with 15 different titles. So sometimes I think that they take clips and like,
I think they just throw it on there in some cases, but it just depends on what kind of porn you're watching, because
that's true.
Obviously none of these people are related. Zero. So like some of it, like I'm sure some of the stuff, if it's like amateur or whatever, people just throw weird titles on it. I you know, amateur porn is weird like that, because who fucking knows what the real story of any of those videos are?
Ain't that the truth?
You know, it's like grainy footage with a fucking smoke detector going off every
and
2 minutes, and they listening to the news and shit, and who knows what any story is for anybody. But then they always have to give it a title, which I imagine is not an accurate title, because if you uploaded a clip of your real self having sex and you're not famous, you probably don't want to put too much discerning information for the motherfucker to find you.
Right.
If anything, when that happens, it's worse. You know, like if I ever clicked on a porn title and it's like Barbara Jones, 1645 Glen Street.
Some questions.
I'm like, this shit illegal, report this. So of course it's gonna be like, you know, old lady has sex with student or whatever, and it's like, is this, none of this could be real. You know, these are just two people having sex, and they named it. You know, the worst is when they get disrespectful for no reason. You know, like old fat bitch. I'm like, why would you she was nice enough to let you film her having sex with you.
Right, why is this so insulting?
You know, like what the fuck kind of bullshit is that? Yeah, like I just wanted to see two people having sex. I didn't need the backstory if you don't respect this lady at all.
Right.
But yeah, it's just it is interesting to think though that somebody somewhere inserted that shit into the video at some point and said, hey, what if it was the sister and brother? It was, hey, step bro. And it doesn't make sense because the porn is never real. They don't even call themselves by first names. They just be like, hey, step bro, give me some of that step bro dick. And I'm like, I don't know much about incest because I've never had any. But I imagine
it don't go like that.
Incest sex is very similar to everybody's sex, which is no one's saying their relationship. It's not like when
no one's saying their status.
Yeah, you're not having sex with your wife and being like, hey, give me some of that wife pussy, wife. Yeah, you ready for some husband dick? Like, that's not, no one's talking like that.
They are not.
I'm not even sure what the turn on of it is exactly. It's not even the greatest acting, but yeah. And now you end up having to, like, you're a porn star, but now you're not. It's worse than having to act. Because before it was like, hey, I got this pizza and ooh, my dick's in the box or whatever. But now we've changed it to just like, hey, I'm your dad. Would you like an allowance? Like, well, this is a very unrealistic situation.
Yeah, and I'm looking, I'm like, y'all actually look the same age. How is she your stepmom, bro?
Right. Oh, that's another thing too.
You're like, y'all don't even have like an age difference.
Right.
For me to believe this is true.
Oh man. Dom said he lost track of time. I'm gonna ask him if he still wants to come through, or just do another day.
Yeah, he still can.
Cause we can work him in. But yeah, anyway, yeah, porn is still a job, and it's still and it's a weird job because, there's no other job like that. You know, you show up to work at Wendy's, it's not like they're like, all right, and today you're having incest with your brother, and that's a backstory.
Right. I'd rather have like boss, manager, you know, like it's just something where you go, okay, but that you're like, that is wild right there.
Yeah. He said it's up to us, so I'm gonna tell him to come through.
Yes.
I mean, we made his face the picture.
So somebody gonna be expecting him.
So, you know, better to get some dime than none, you know.
Ain't that true?
So hopefully he'll hop on at some point. If I see him in the chat, I'll add him, guys.
Yeah, I look forward too.
But yeah, and I'll start with some more random thoughts then. Banter. The gym is already crowded.
They getting ready.
It's already started. Like, motherfuckers doing December. We need to call them like December resolutions or some shit. Like,
they starting early.
Like it's like they up in there. Like I was in there yesterday, and it's been like this for a couple weeks now. It could just be that school is out, so maybe you got some college kids and high school kids that aren't in school.
Yeah,
but like
I can see that.
It's crowded at every time, and
wow.
Even in the training room where I go, where it's like an offshoot of the main room, where normally only your hardcore fitness training people are in there. It be mad people in there now, and you got to really stake out a spot. And motherfuckers be starting to act a little rude, and hopefully I don't have to lose my cool. But like motherfuckers do weird shit. Like I'll be using a piece of equipment, and then a motherfucker just come over and grab it, and I have to be like, "Hey, the fuck? I'm using that bike."
Right.
You know, because I do my stuff in intervals, meaning like, 2 minutes on the bike, then you do a lift, and then you do you carry this thing, and then you do then you do a plank, then you go back to the bike. And so a motherfucker will see you set up a whole little station with your equipment, with just the weights you're gonna use, and they'll just come over and like grab with their headphones on and your headphones on, just grab like your fucking dumbbells. It's like, what the fuck, bitch? You absolutely know those dumbbells aren't sitting right next to me for just coincidence.
Right.
Like, I just like to work out by dumbbells, you motherfuckers. So
right.
People getting a little bit rude, man. There was one woman a few weeks ago that turned off the fan as soon as she walked in. It was a room full of people. The fans were on. Like,
for
bitch,
a reason.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'd have turned the motherfuckers right back on.
Right. It's 10 people in here, and you just took the gamble on like, well, I don't like fans, so fuck everybody. Right. I'm sure they'll be okay with it.
Right. It's fucking hot, and that's something that kind of tears my ass too, because one of the things when you go, we're already in here, we're already working out. If the fans are on, they're on for a fucking reason. Right. Because the more people you get in there, the warmer it's gonna get.
Yeah, it's just crazy some of the stuff you see in there, but I still try to be polite and, not, I'm not gonna lose my cool over it, but it's just like, damn, the entitlement, bro. I don't care that it's crowded. I care more that like, hey man, if you see somebody done roped off their little space or they're using some equipment, either be patient, or because there's plenty of other equipment in there. There's plenty of bikes. There's another room full of shit. Mm-hmm. Just be patient and be okay, or ask, like, because that's another thing. Like, I don't mind if someone comes over and they're like, hey, you mind if I use this kettlebell? I gotta do, just for like 2 minutes. Like, yeah, just bring it back or whatever. Most people are very amenable to if you just have communication. But
yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Like,
some people are just rude.
Yeah, it's just crazy how busy and weird it is right now in the gym. But we persevere. Shout out to my trainer though, because this is why I got a trainer, is so that I can make adjustments and I'm not intimidated by the gym, not intimidated by crowds. I know I'm there to do my work, do my business, and I can figure stuff out, if something's not available, if I need to adjust a workout, or if I need to do it in different orders. Yeah, and a lot of that knowledge came from consistently being in the gym all year and learning stuff from my trainer, who will be like, okay, well, this it's gonna get crowded. Like, even this week she's like, it's gonna get crowded, so basically the workout I've been doing only uses a bike, 2 50-pound kettlebells, which most people ain't fucking with because they're kind of heavy, and it's Like maybe some of them strong men ass niggas be fucking
Right.
with them 50s all the time.
But the average person, no.
yeah, and then 225 dumbbells, which they have a bunch of, and you can just always find some.
Oh, so
And
she adjusting it to around, more
so
people in there.
I don't need to worry about the fact that it's super crowded. But yeah, it's been crazy how crowded it's been.
And also because, not trying funny, you're used to the gym. Not all those people. Some of those people don't have the knowledge. They don't really know how a lot of that shit works. So they just go for what they know. And like you say, because you do like a total body workout, you have motherfuckers. They have like you said, them chicken legs, because they go up. You go, well, you got to work the lower part of your body too. So a lot of them won't do the legs, they won't do the squats, they won't do like that part of their body. They just completely skip it.
I mean, maybe, I don't know if that's what's happening from being in there. I think the part of the gym I'm in, people work their whole body.
Okay.
So like if you come into the training room, it's
the room
it's
that
pretty
you're
much
in, yeah.
a lot of squats, like a lot of deadlifts, a lot of sled. Like the people that be in there be doing everything. Like
Okay.
the guys that do a lot of the vanity lifting and stuff, they normally go to the other part of the gym where they just do
The
like
larger one.
bench presses and curls and stuff, and some of the machine weights and stuff like that. But even still, I don't pay that much attention to how much other people work out and what they do with their bodies. But at least in this room, these are some hardcore people. Like they be in there doing all the shit. But that's the thing, because those are the most hardcore dedicated people. It's weird when people come into the space and just be
you should know the rules.
I'm gonna just take this bar. And it's like, motherfucker, you see somebody there, and now they either got to come over and be confrontational or take their shit back, or they got to go across the room and find their other thing. And then like people see that and they don't even have the ability or the decency to come over and be like, hey, my bad, man, I didn't realize you was using this or something. Like,
right. Because that can happen. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, people just I don't know, people are kind of rude sometimes. Let's see, stalling for more time. Everybody knows I love the N-word. It's one of my favorite words, if not my favorite word.
Yeah, if we have kids, if we had children, they definitely would have been one of their favorite words.
Yeah, and I know people get kind of caught up in that and squeamish about it. People feel strongly about it one way or the other. That's fine. That's your life. That's your mouth. You can say whatever you want to say.
You sure can.
But it doesn't necessarily change how I feel about it. But I love it so much, I actually put it in rock songs. Like songs that don't even have nothing to do with the N-word. That's how much I love it. It's not just rap for me. If I listen to music or something and it comes on, I don't know if other people do it, but I like to throw it in there. If I'm listening to like some music and it's like, we built this nigga, dun, dun. We built this nigga on rock. I like that shit.
That is hilarious.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, nigga. You give love a bad name.
That's
it's
my
fun.
jam. Yes.
Y'all should try it.
Yes.
Make the songs better.
Yeah, but yeah, I know in my vocabulary it's a person, place, thing, adjective, adverb. Like I place that anywhere, and you ain't even got to be black. Like everybody want it the way I use it.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't necessarily use it in mixed company. I don't like calling white people. I don't like giving people like this carte blanche to use it. But you got to remember, I didn't necessarily grow up around white people like that.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, I have a safety in the way that it's used, because I didn't grow up with the concern of like, and then my white friend won't understand. It's like, I grew up in a very black neighborhood. I grew up around black people. So if they want to use it, I never felt this like, they gonna hear us, brother. What is that? Why are you saying this about yourself?
And it was kind of a privilege.
Yeah, and I grew up as a child of hip hop, so it was already kind of taken a different way. And I'm not a person that's in denial. I don't have any qualms about saying, I'm not trying to pretend that it's like it's taking the power back, because see, brother, if we say it out of love, then the white man. No, if a white man calls me nigga, I'm gonna want to punch him in his face. And that just is what it is. It's
right.
not, I don't need to have a huge philosophical reason that I like saying it. It's a term of camaraderie and brotherhood and love and humor amongst the people that I commune with, you know. I can't worry so much about the people outside of my community, because guess what, they're gonna be racist and they're gonna say it the wrong way on purpose. White people invented nigga. It's really their word.
Yes, it is.
We're just using it over here. But yeah, I always, you know, I don't feel too strongly about it. I respect those that do, and I would never call a black person the N-word if they didn't want me to, or didn't want me to use it towards them.
Agreed.
But just in general, it's just fun to throw it in songs that, you know, have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and also, like you, I had that privilege just the way I was raised and grew up. Like, I was around black people that was like, I hate that nigga George Bush. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, so for me, I was like, that's how you use the word. Because, you know, you grew up around people, you know, who use it in that frame or term and things like that. So that's why I say I use it like that. Most of the time, I'm using it kind of with my people and in my circle. So for me, you know, like you say, the way I view and the way other people view it are different. Like, I respect the way that you view it, but it don't mean I have to change my philosophy about it.
Yeah, I just, you know, as long as I respect people, but, you know, you can just judge me. I don't like.
Agreed.
It just happens. People gonna be like, I hate when black people. Well, then I guess you hate when I use it, and it'll be okay.
Right, you'll be all right.
Plus the other reason I can't really trust the people that say that stuff, if you pay attention, they be saying nigga. Just pay attention. They be saying it. They be finding little ways around it to say nigga, but they be saying it. Like the new one that they be using. Do you know what a YN is?
What a who?
A YN. So a YN means young nigga. They be like, my YNs. Oh, these YNs. Do you see the YNs? The YNs, that, like, there's a lot of TikTok trends, and it just mean young nigga. Right. So, like, you said YN, ha ha ha, that's your joke, but then you be judging me for saying the N-word. Nigga, you just said it. You just made me say it by saying YNs. So, to me, it's not, you know, it's not no real difference in that shit. And for me, I just want my YNs to become ONs. You know, that's, you know, I just need them to make it.
That's hilarious.
Hopefully one day we can all look back on this, you know, but like, it's just kind of crazy that it reminds me of the term thought. When like the academic blacks on Twitter start using the term thought and be like, that thought, this thought, that thought.
Yes, when they started saying that, the shortcut, you were like, but nigga, like, you still are saying it without saying it. Just because you use a quote unquote cool phrase, it don't mean that you ain't saying it.
Yeah, it's just like, listen, thought, that thought was doing this and that thought. I said, why are we saying thought? Well, as a feminist, I don't like to call women hoes, and you know, I'm sex positive, and sex workers that's work, and so I'm not gonna call anybody a hoe. But this thought, I'm like, you just called this woman a hoe. Thought means that hoe over there.
Yes,
that is still calling somebody a hoe with more letters.
With more letters.
Just call that person a hoe.
Work, more syllables.
You can't trick me, okay? There's things that we mean them disrespectfully, and people do disrespect on purpose, and it just happens that way. So, you know, it is what it is. Dom is coming on, guys. He had to switch to Chrome browser, but we're trying to get him on in the background. But yeah, I hate when people do that. But yeah, YNs just means young niggas, and they have a lot of TikToks and Instagram reels based off of it, where it just be like, my YN, when the YNs see you coming out the gas station, and I'm like, it took me a while to put the context clues together.
Right. It's too much work. Just say what you mean. That's why when people be using like them like what is it? The NBA never broke never
NBA young boy.
Yes. That.
Why do you say people be using it? We know one guy who uses NBA.
My bad. Well, the dude that use it is fucking confusing to me, because I be like, young broke niggas again. What is we talking about here? That's because I'm old. I'm sorry.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You just like to say you don't know how stuff works.
You know what? I think you're right.
I know. I know I'm right. But yeah, I just thought that
say the words.
I just thought that was a thing. Anyway, all right, that we've stalled for enough time. Dom hopefully will be on momentarily, and then we can talk to him about things in life that are
See
happening.
how he been doing.
Yeah, get his thoughts on stuff. It's been a while since since it's been a while since he's been around. I'm gonna uninvite him and invite him back so that when he gets back, he can get that prompt to come
Right,
on the screen.
right. We just need to get that prompt.
But yeah. Anyway, all right. Let me see if there's any other random bullshit that I can stall for time on that I was thinking about. I feel like I didn't write enough of these down. Oh, um, it's kind of interesting that Blake Lively shit popped off at the time that it did, because I feel like not enough people know, but Shamik Moore, the actor who plays the voice of, I think, Miles Morales, um
On the anime.
on the movie,
Okay, the movie.
Spider Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
um this motherfucker was crashing out. um Okay, he says he's here. I sent the invite on screen, Dom. It says my hand is raised. Uh, let's see. Let me uninvite and then invite him back. I'll do it.
Right.
Karen.
Okay. If I say you should get a prompt.
Yeah. Hopefully, he gets a prompt to join or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what it means. Hand is raised.
Yeah, I don't see a hand raised because we can see that, but I don't see one.
Yeah. Dom, just let's see. Invite sent.
Yeah, it's telling us it's sent.
Yeah, this is weird. Sorry for all this behind the scenes, guys, but this is live podcast, and this is what happens when you work with black people of a certain age. You have to do things like this. All right, yeah. Let me just double check to make sure he's the only one in there. Oh, I see. There's more than one.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, Karen. I got it.
Okay.
All right. I see what it is. There was two Don Riveras in there. So I think maybe now I've sent it to the right one that has this Iverson, because he is a Philly fan, has this Iverson logo as the thing. So hopefully that fixed it. There we go. All right. And we have webcam utility plug. So there we go.
Can you hear me?
Hear you, baby.
We can hear you, webcam utility.
I don't know what the hell. It's the perfect timing. Y'all was talking. I'm looking at the chat. Everybody says I'm old now. I'm logging in like I'm trying to talk to customer service on a Sunday.
All right. Like, is this even the right place? You think he's calling to get help?
Oh man, this is bad. This is really bad. Oh, we feeling our age on a Sunday too. I saw your prompt came up. This was in my phone. I'm timing it the whole nine, and then I see your message, and I'm like, "You got to be kidding!" I'm yelling at my wife. I gotta go.
Oh man,
sorry, baby. I gotta be somewhere.
Dog. What? First of all, man, we knew this was a risky proposition. Let me do my introduction, okay? Today's guest is stand-up comedian, actor, diehard Sixers fan, Dominic Rivera. What's going on, brother? How you been, man?
How y'all doing, man? It's really good to hear y'all voices together and kick it like this. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, it's good to see your webcam utility plug in. It's been
good
been
to see
too
you.
long.
How your baby doing? I see you and the baby.
Good, man. That's the reason why I've been incognito for so long. You know what I mean? Like being a dad to a 5-year-old now in your 40s is just an entirely different life that I thought. I did this before, but I did not do it before this way, and it's a totally different experience that I'm going through.
Yeah, like Roger said, you either gonna be a cool dad or a good dad, and it was like, yeah, you were literally there like all of the time. I was like, oh, this, and they were like, where you at, Dom? I was like, that nigga raising a kid. No wonder I wouldn't be nowhere either.
It's been 5 years.
Yes, bruh. Yes.
What the fuck?
Since we've had him on?
No, 5 years since this baby was born, Karen.
Say, damn.
Karen not listening.
The time is crazy, man. That time is a crazy that's something I've been dealing with as well as just as a fucking person, as a human, of just like understanding where the time in my bottle in my hourglass has gone. You know what I mean? I look and now I'm 46. And I think when we first started like playing around, I'm 37 when I first met you guys. And that's how fast time has kind of moved on. And then COVID came, and I pretty much did my entire early part of fatherhood and with my daughter in COVID. And it was
Right.
just such a different experience of literally being in your kid's life like every day. You know what I mean? Like no work. I mean, I worked and stuff, but like we were together for those first 2 years, like all 365. And it really changed. I don't want to leave home now. I don't want to be away. I want to enjoy the moments a lot more than before. It's like, oh, I need to pay bills and do shit like that. But nah, I look at it a totally different way. It's mellowed the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I can feel it in you, man. Just talking to you as well too. Now, do you want to try to get your camera together, or you?
Yeah, I think I figured this out. Let me get the camera because I know in the world of content, y'all got to make shit look good
Yeah,
too. So
gotta put this shit on
I
YouTube.
apologize to y'all in the chat. This is what happens when old motherfuckers get together after in their 40s on a Sunday and we don't
It's
got
gonna
no
be on
food.
YouTube, but they gonna see a USB bar.
Yeah, you can try refresh, and we'll make sure to keep inviting you on so that you can, if you need to do whatever you need to do.
All right, give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back on.
Yeah, no problem, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, it is interesting though getting older, because I feel like a lot of this is time feels like it's moving faster because you've experienced more of the time, and obviously on the backside there's less of it left. So it really does feel like you look up and motherfuckers just say stuff like, oh yeah, my kid is 5 now. It's like, when the fuck did that happen? Like we just letting that happen now. Kids just becoming 5. The other day, Aaron from the Black Astronauts texted me, and it was just a picture of his daughter, who's like a teenager now, who's becoming like a young woman, and I'm just like,
who would have thunk that?
Yeah, and he knew it was gonna fuck me up because the caption of it was like, "Nigga, we old" or some shit, and I was like, "Damn, we is." Like this is a grown up. He living in your house, eating your food.
Right. And also the thing too is, particularly now, Facebook will really make you feel, though, I am one of the few niggas that's still on Facebook. So for me, Facebook will fuck you up, particularly if you were like have been following people for a very long time. You don't watch them. Here's the first day of elementary school to, dog, my baby just graduated from college. You're like, the fuck am I? What the fuck have I been?
Yeah, it's just like he sent me this thing, and it was just like, want to feel old? And I'm like you and Karen want to feel old? And it's just a picture of him and his daughter, and she's grown. Not grown, but grown enough for us to be like, damn, for real. So yeah, it's just getting older, man. It sneaks up on you. I mean, but it's better than dying. So
that's how I feel.
Because that's the other thing too. Now is like with us having access to social media, I feel like every day we getting somebody's death notice update. So like on the one hand, you're like, fuck, I'm getting old, but on the other hand, you be looking around like, and a lot of niggas ain't getting old, they getting dead.
So old is a good option.
Yeah, like now we get to the point where you look up and motherfuckers younger than you dying.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I ain't supposed to outlive you, baby.
Yeah, it's like OG Mako died. I'm like, I didn't even get to know his music good enough, and this motherfucker is gone, and he's like 33.
Yeah, you're like,
which is old for a rapper,
true,
but young for a person.
Yes.
So I feel like that's happening a lot. Oh, there he is. There's Dom. Oh man, good to see you, man. You can still hear us and everything.
Yeah, I can hear y'all. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. So let's talk about the Sixers. All right.
Oh, here we go.
What the fuck is going on over there, man? I feel like Joel Embiid is trying to play. He's the first nigga that's got a part-time NBA job. Like this nigga work on the weekends. I love
that DEI job.
I feel like between him and Paul George, y'all got 3 working ligaments at all times. You know what I mean?
Ligaments is the new YN.
Yes. And then of course I love Tyrese Maxey. Like that's my guy. I fuck with his game. I hate y'all dude Jared McClain, the rookie y'all had that
the babyface assassin.
Bruh, we got to watch him in person twice before he got injured here, and he got it.
Giving us the
he got it right. He
Yes.
has it. I can't explain it to people. I've been trying to.
You gotta see
I'm
it.
like, this dude has it. He's like,
Yes.
he is the next kind of generation of NBA superstar, from also just like how he incorporates like social media and everything, and just like his persona and his swag, the whole nine. Like that guy is a guy.
Yeah, and like the thing I'm wondering in NBA draft boards now, if I'm a scout, I feel like I am looking for them TikTok niggas with the painted nails. Like I feel like them the ones now. Like in the way that when we came up, it was like, oh, the niggas with the cornrows and straight backs. That's who I'm trying to draft. Now I'm like, if he doing TikTok dances and he motherfucking flashing them fingernails, move him up our draft board.
Move him up.
He got a good personality and a game. That's the type of person you want to build a team around. You don't want somebody moping and shit. No.
Yeah, like because I'm. It's kind of like I'm at a point now where I'm like, how good is he to justify being like that? Because you gotta be beating the charges every day. It's like when people say, "Oh, I name my son a girl name so that he gonna be tough," and it's like, you know what? Checks out, because if you name a dude something like that, our world is too judgmental and they will pick on him, and he'll have to whoop somebody's ass way earlier than a motherfucker with a regular. If you name your kid Bob, he might not have to get in a fight till 12th grade. But if you name that nigga like Dominique or Ryan, they might have to check a nigga in like 5th grade, dog. So
punch a nigga in his teeth.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I feel like that's the new thing that Caleb Williams, the number 1 pick for the Chicago, he had them things, the nails, and nigga be wearing like lip gloss and shit. And I'm like, yo, number 1.
I'm fine with that.
Give him 3 years in the offensive line. This nigga gonna be eating the league up,
tearing them up,
doing motherfucking Skims commercials at halftime and shit, and everybody gonna be mad.
They gonna be mad as shit. Got a fashion show.
If you're comfortable in your skin, you're gonna be comfortable as the face of the franchise. That's the way I look at it, especially nowadays.
Yeah, I really do. I think we just have to. We're getting older and need to adjust our social spectrum of like, what makes one of these dudes like a legit star? Like, why this person gonna be a star? It don't look like what it used to look like. Wemby for the NBA, this nigga just tweeted out, "I'm trying to play chess in Washington Square Park in New York. Who coming? I'm gonna be out there in 2 hours." And this nigga really just showed up in the park, looking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, playing chess against motherfuckers.
People showed up.
It's a different type of what we would call a star. That's not some star shit that you would see 10, 15. LeBron ain't playing chess in the fucking park. Like, he's going out to the 40-40 club or some shit, and we're gonna be like, oh, he was in VIP. These niggas are different now. And I think the ones that stars be doing different shit.
Yeah, you almost have to make yourself stand out.
And they know how to use technology. They don't be like waiting until a Sunday to get together and shit like some old motherfuckers. They just do it instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
They just pull their phone up and they ready to go. We be sending each other email calendar invites.
Come on, check to be sure. Are you free?
I'm waiting to see if these niggas start collabing on these TikToks, because that's the next level, is when you see like McCain and Caleb Williams both painting their nails and doing them TikTok dances at the same time. That's the next level of like, oh, this the new nigga shit.
Let me tell you why, Don, they ain't got to be like, I got a mammogram test, I got to turn around and get my colon checked. They ain't got to worry about that shit. They can just get up and go.
Yes, sir. That's the new all-star skills game. They just bring social media type shit. Like, who could do the most TikTok dances at a halftime show or something like that? They gotta speed it up.
They should add chess to the All-Star weekend. Like, let Wemby host a chess tournament. You don't even have to necessarily televise it, but just it's some different young nigga shit.
On the low, them niggas will show up and it be lit.
Some will, some won't, but we'll, I think, like, we've been talking a lot about the NBA passing the torch to these, like, who's the next generation.
Yes.
I think you gotta lean into these niggas being different. Like, like people keep trying to code everything back to the old days of like, oh,
In
what
the
you
old days was fucking corny. Like if
yeah.
we let's be real about this, because I like 90s basketball. I'm into everything, the nostalgia of it or everything. But when you look at games now, like have you ever seen like one of them NBA classics and they
Mhm.
pop up? I was watching Miami Heat versus the New York Knicks in the playoffs. That was the game where Van Gundy is holding on to Alonzo Mourning's leg and shit, like all of that.
Yeah.
The score was 33-22 or something in like the
Go
end of
ahead.
the second quarter.
Them
It
low
was
ass
the
scoring
it was
games. You end
the
the games with 80 points.
it
Like
was
that shit.
slow. It
Yes,
was
This
it
not
was.
great.
also nostalgia is a bitch because it erases all the low points and replaces them with nothing but the highs. So you have people say shit like, "Man, I can't watch them. All these threes they shooting and all this shit." And I'm like, y'all. I remember when the Nets went to back NBA finals and NBA playoff games was ending 65-67. Like, y'all didn't like that shit either. We were begging for somebody to hit some motherfucking threes. We was, and then the other thing too that they're doing is this like, man, these players now, man, they don't have any personality. They boring. Well, you can't say that and also be sucking off Tim Duncan's dick. Cause I've never seen a more boring nigga. Tim Duncan is a walking sentient pair of khakis.
Yeah,
Like,
he's so boring.
there's nothing
He's the
about
khakis of the NBA. He's the
he
business
is.
suit of
Yes.
the
And
NBA.
obviously we respect the numbers, you respect the dominance, the wins, like the longevity. It's not even about like disrespecting him. It's about the fact that you can't erase this nigga from the past and act like he didn't happen. Like, to me, the new Tim Duncan is motherfucking Jason Tatum. Like,
Ooh.
Jason Tatum to me he's everything on paper if you're a GM that you would want. And that's Tim Duncan to a T2. It's like, if you got to create a player from scratch, nigga don't cause no commotion.
He hella boring.
Hella boring. Get his numbers. Okay.
Do his job, go home.
Unselfish as fuck to a fault almost. Like if he had a little bit more ego about him, we would be talking about Duncan differently if he had Shaq's ego. But he don't. Like, he was very satisfied with like, we won the ring and finals and whatever. Like, Kawhi got finals MVP. That's cool. I don't like, it's not even about me at this point.
Right.
And I think Jason Tatum is our preeminent example of like no real ego, probably to his detriment, really. Cause like, nigga, if that was Kobe, they would have traded Jaylen Brown. They would have traded him like 3 years ago. Like, nigga, it's my team. Stop shooting them motherfucking bricks and pass me the rock. And you damn well better not try to get finals MVP over me, motherfucker. I'll lose a game before I'm going to get 50 and we going to lose before I fucking get 20 and we win and you get finals MVP.
No sweeps. We going 7 so I can make sure I'm averaging 43 a game.
Exactly. And so I feel like that we're having some of this stuff right now. It's in its infancy, but if Jason Tatum is 4 years away from having 3 rings, I feel like we are back to like old school basketball never really died. Like, that's just Tim Duncan 2024 version, but he's just coded as a new nigga. He just different.
That's just old motherfuckers turning MAGA in NBA. That's it. We the MAGA of NBA. We want to make American basketball great again. And it is great. I don't get it. Like, did you not expect a motherfucker that is 7'3"? He gotta shoot from 32 feet away from the basket. Look how tall he is. Like, it's not the same. Like, we grew up with Mark Eaton and Greg Ostertag could play in the NBA, and those monsters couldn't even get on the basketball court and do anything. You know what I mean?
When they got mad at Anthony Edwards for shooting threes he was hitting, I was like, what are we talking about? Well, look at his shot profile. And then they try to, because what I think is really happening is, like you said, we're getting older. And I think a lot of these people that used to be preeminent basketball hoop watchers, they're not actually watching a lot of basketball. They're looking at stat sheets.
Yes.
And then they're using the stat sheets and the nerd shit to justify why they don't watch basketball, as opposed to like, I'm getting older. I'm not as interested in the league as I used to be. They're using ratings panic, knowing the ratings are never good going into Christmas.
Economic anxiety.
Exactly. It's very
people when you get older, you turn into a single issue voter. Like you just
Yes.
you only
Yes.
want to see shit like one way. There's only one thing that bothers me, and that's the only thing I want fixed. And if it's not fixed, then it's all broken, and I don't give a shit about it no
And the
more.
reason you know it's bullshit is because all of them have actual different reasoning, but they all act like their reasoning is why everyone's not watching. So you got some people out there that's like, the problem is the league is too woke. They got Black Lives Matter on the court. That's why don't nobody want to watch that bullshit. Then the other people, they shoot too many threes. That's why don't nobody want to watch that bullshit. They don't got no personalities. Where the hard fouls? There ain't nobody fighting. I'm like, it can't be all this shit, nigga.
Right.
And if it was that big a deal, you'd be doing nothing but watching. You know what? ESPN Classic would still have a channel. If it was that alluring to keep watching old niggas beat each other up.
Whole ass channel that showed nothing but old NBA. And as somebody who actually loves the NBA, I like the evolution of it. And also going back to some things y'all was talking about the players. I remember the commissioner, I think it was the current commissioner, was saying that he's realized a lot of the players have been affected by social media, and they're sad and they're depressed and things like that. But you have a new generation now that grew up in that shit, and that's a difference between those people and the people where social media was kind of thrust upon them. Mm-hmm. And I think that this generation has figured out how to actually take social media and mold it into a brand, which is something that players never had to do before, because that's why you hire agents and promote. Like, you hire other people to almost create your image, and you just play ball. But now it's up to the player almost to do some of that shit himself. Yeah, you hire those people, but it's like comedians. Like, all of a sudden, I can't just tell jokes no more. I got to tell jokes. I got to pump myself on social media. I got to make TikToks. I got to tour. It's like I got to do all this other shit. And I got to be somebody before I can actually pay other people to do that shit. And it's like, for the first time, some of that responsibility is falling on the players. And a lot of the old players are rejecting it. And a lot of new players that kind of grew up in that is going, oh, I know how to make this shit work for me. Y'all like to do this? I'll go in the middle of Central Park and people will show up. And now y'all have an interaction with me that y'all otherwise wouldn't have, because now I can create my own brand, which was never required of athletes before. And so I think it's an adjustment to that. You let a few more years go on, you're going to have more and more players, and eventually some of these old niggas actually kind of adjust like that too.
I actually think the biggest thing that's happening is the thing that they're not talking about, and it's actually NBA media has changed. Like, the people who used to do this job used to be trained journalists. They used to be writers.
Yes.
They used to have columns. They used to write stories, narratives.
Yes, stories.
And we didn't have as much access to players because of social media. Right now, players can come out. They got their own podcast and all this shit. Mm-hmm. So, like, a story
that also gave them a lot of power to be a narrative builder, even if they weren't. It also gave a lot of power to the old motherfuckers like the Skip Bayless types who used to be journalists and shit. You know what I mean? So like,
that shifting power dynamic has taken place, and I feel like we're having a reckoning right now where people are saying, like, analysts who have gotten older, who don't like this style of the game, they're looking at the NBA and the league and the players like, fix this shit. And that's all the opinion they have. They're not explaining anything. They're not sitting around and being like I haven't seen very much writing about why Anthony Edwards is shooting that many threes.
Right.
That's the difference to me between old school journalism and just, I don't like this shit and I'm on TV. Like, it used to be a time where you would get embedded with a guy, get embedded with a team, and you be in that locker room and you be like talking to coaches, assistant coaches, shooting journalism, talking to Anthony Edwards. Why are you shooting this many threes? And there's a story there, a basketball story there.
Yes.
You lost Karl Anthony Towns, one of the most prolific three-point shooters in the league, who's a big man. You brought in two Knicks, Dante DiVincenzo, who's not shooting very well, and then Julius Randle, who's not a three-point shooter. It's not that he can't shoot at all, but he don't be out there like Karl. The threes got to come from somewhere.
Right.
And then this nigga right here, Anthony Edwards, still be dunking on people, which is another like misnomer that's been happening. You have, because like I said, these guys are going off of feelings and vibes. They be like, what happened to dunking on people? Make dunking 3 points. Bro, Anthony Edwards still dunking on people. Mm-hmm. If you look at his shot chart, it's pretty much a three or he trying to dunk on your ass. That's what the game is.
Yeah.
And the mid-range thing that everyone's talking about, where it's like they got to do something about the mid-range, that's simple math. A fucking long two is actually a stupid shot. And here's the kicker. It was always a stupid shot. Just because you stylistically like it, don't make it smart.
Yeah, you might as well go ahead for that three if you're going to shoot a long two.
What you're watching is players and coaches become smarter. It's just the evolution of the game. The same, like, it's
how many NBA highlights have contested long 2-pointers? It's the worst shot.
Dog, DeMar DeRozan fucked the Kings up. Fucked them up. The Kings were on a trajectory where we was like, yo, these young fools about to be a problem for years. They went and got the mid-range shootingest ass nigga in the world and fired their coach after giving him an extension this summer. Why? Because them 2-pointers is dumb, man. It don't matter how sweet that shit look. There's a reason DeMar DeRozan ain't champion. And it's no offense to him, but we don't talk about him like that. Because it's like, if them shits would have been threes, we be talking about him different. But yeah, a lot of it's just curmudgeon old people shit.
The last reporter that I think too, there's like a line in the sand too, that it's the LeBron line, of course. Until he's out of the league, there is a clear error line. You know what I mean? When his stops, then somebody else eventually will pick it up. And his line too for journalism is like, I grew up with Brian Windhorst as a reporter because he was an early guy that was like, I see this guy, now I have to follow him from AAU, like the early part of basketball. And then he made the transition as well with like tweeting and being on ESPN and doing that. And that was the evolution of, you know what I mean, journalism. And now you have the old dudes that don't want to do that at all. You know what I mean? Or want to be nostalgia. And there's something to nostalgia to NBA past and doing that. But it's boring to see somebody old talk shit about something new. Like, you just be sitting there cringe. You taking all the fun out of it from me. Like, I like these young boy highlights that be like, have you seen like NBA edits and Filet and the way that they present basketball and shit like that? Like, it's very old motherfucker shit. Like, it's like you worked in a coal mine and now you don't want to use computers. Like, you gotta figure something the fuck out. Like, it's not, you know what I mean?
Dying breed.
Yes, exactly. The canary is in the fucking tunnel, bruh, and it's gonna come back dead for your old ass. Like, it's a whole new way of going. Like, I don't want to see Draymond Green on media, but I want to see like different viewpoints and new ways to spin like a game that I love and I'm watching.
Right. And also I think it's a fine line because it's almost like a catch-22. You have kind of old school media who don't want to go new school, and do you have new school media who actually don't realize that you need some of that old school journalism, like you need somebody that has a mixture of both.
When you say new school media, I feel like what you're really saying is athletes who have podcasts and shit.
How can I say? I guess so, but to me, what I mean is, it's like, you know, years ago, how y'all talk about how when people used to cover the NBA, a lot of them used to have like journalism degrees, like they almost went through the thing where they had to do the who, what, when, where, why, and how. The new media, they're not required to do any of that extra research.
Like, who would you say are your examples of this? Is what I'm asking.
And that's the thing. I don't really have no I know that might sound crazy, but I don't really have no examples of it. All I know is like when things are presented to me, like you say, maybe like a podcast that don't require all these questions.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because Draymond and Pat Bev and these guys that have their own podcast, they present themselves as the new media. And what I think is very ironic about their parsing of we're the new media, they're actually heavily influenced by the Stephen A. Smith archetype, not the old school journalist of let's break. Like, if you look at most of these podcasts, with the exception of JJ Redick and LeBron, if you look at most of these podcasts by players, it's actually just them being their own version of Stephen A. Smith and Charles Barkley. Yeah, it's not them trying to be like they started on the premise of we need to get back to talking about the game and we need to give some inside knowledge because people don't know. And then they get on there and the first thing is like, I fucking hate Rudy Gobert, and this dude is a bitch, and and basketball players would be better at NFL. The NFL would be better at basketball. Like, those are just first take topics flipped, and then they're calling it new media. And so that's why I bring up, like, a lot of that to me can't be separated from players using their own platforms to try to replace your Stephen A's and these guys.
Yeah, and my thing is, even with Stephen A and all that stuff, it's not trying to be funny. It's no a lot of those people just give you fucking opinions, you know. And it's like I said, the journalism part is the part that's kind of lost in them, because you're just talking all over the place. It ain't got to be based in reality. It ain't got to be based in facts. It's just based off of, you ain't did no research. You ain't talked to no players. Like, even the players, like, you ain't done you ain't done none of that work. And so for me, it's like, it needs to be more of a balance. There.
Listen, I don't know what can fix that media, because I think so much of it is ratings driven.
Yeah, you're being rewarded for it.
So like, people have a way of saying they want a thing, but their actions tell the truth.
That's true too.
It's like, people hate Stephen A. They watch First Take.
Yes, they do.
And they watch it more than any other sports show. Mm-hmm. So those people can all kind of go fuck themselves with the like, oh, nah, man, I don't want that. You do want it. Let me see what's on your TV at 10 a.m. You watching it, right? You mad as hell. You tweeting about it.
Mad as hell.
You sharing the clips and you fuck them. But that's what works. And I think because that's how the media has turned into just ratings over everything.
That's true.
They now look at the sports that way. It's the reason they don't criticize the NFL, which has a by far shittier product than it's ever had in my lifetime. But they don't criticize it. And their ratings have come down a little bit. But they don't criticize it because nationally they still have like 97 of the top 100 ratings. And the media is very ratings driven for their livelihoods, ratings and clicks. So to them, NFL valuable, no criticism at all. Great job. NBA, ratings coming down. What y'all doing wrong over there? Y'all need to figure this out. Because that's what they would be doing. They would be panicking if First Takes rating went down. They'd be panicking if their podcast click numbers went down. So it's all about the clicks over everything. But I think if they care about being shepherds and stewards of the game as they claim,
right,
then you would pull out a little bit of that old school journalism. Give us the story. Tell us a story about why the league needs to change. Not just, hey, man, I looked at a stat sheet last night. Did you know they shot 73s? Like, what the fuck? I can see that. Yes,
I watched the game. Yes.
If I was at that game and I had a good time, guess what the last thing I was thinking in my life? Man, a lot of threes tonight. I don't give a fuck.
I had a good time.
I've gone to Hornets games where them niggas was hitting threes, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I've gone to Hornets games they was missing threes, and it fucking sucked. And you know what? It would feel the same way in 1990. It would feel the same way.
True.
Hitting shots feels better than missing shots. But yeah, it's just it got a little bit weird with this media shit. I would like some real. I was thinking about this today. It would be cool if there was a sports network where people could talk just how people regularly talk. Like today, I was looking at ESPN before we came in here, and they was talking about Kirk Cousins, quarterback for Atlanta, who just got benched for Michael Penix Jr., the new black quarterback they drafted. And it was like, Kirk Cousins got benched, and now Michael Penix is doing it. How is the team handling transition? We go out to, whoever, Sao Paulo, Antonio, whatever on the scene. And it just would have been, just for a second in my head, I thought it would have been funny if they were like, how they handle the transition and what's making this easy. If they was like, if he would just been like, because he's ass. Kirk Cousins sucks. He's been throwing 7 interceptions every week. And it's really made the transition easy because Mike Penix Jr. is not ass. As of yet, and the team seems to be behind him because he doesn't fucking suck. All right, back to y'all.
And that's that gap that has been, but that gap has been filled now because you can go online and there's a dude that covers his team, or you know what I mean, and that generation's like, I want to talk to that dude. I don't want to talk to Sal Palantonio. First of all, I don't even have cable or Hulu.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so many fucking things. And I look at it differently a little bit too, because I got kids like in their 20s and shit like that. So they, you know what I mean, the way that they consume content or going about like doing things, like it came to a point like me and my wife were like, why the fuck do we still have cable? Like, we're the only old people. Like, should we just be on streaming services? Because like my son would never watch TV. Like he just watched YouTube was his shit, and I'd be like, that's stupid. And then here I am now, 10 years later, like I should have paid more attention to YouTube and figuring this out.
And these old media people be mad as hell when like the commissioner came out and said the other day, Adam Silver was like, I know y'all, we're looking into the ratings thing. I hear what y'all saying, but like, are y'all seeing our social media clips?
Yes.
Like these shit, they are eating this shit up. Like this, like y'all are looking at the old model and being like, but that's crazy that y'all that like, okay, but everything's ratings is down. No one knows where to find anything anymore. You got 37 streaming channels for all the shit.
For everything.
NFL's on Netflix, Peacock, Tubi,
Prime,
fucking Amazon Prime. Like it's everywhere. Like they just have a game everywhere and no one cares. No one's talking about it. But in general, NBA puts all the games on to Christmas on ABC. All of a sudden ratings jump through the roof.
Also, NBA doesn't start till Christmas. I try to tell people that all
everybody know that. Yeah. I hate, but honestly though, I was thinking about this too, Dom. My whole life, they've treated the NBA this way.
Yes,
it's always been the league that somehow, for some reason, just can't get right. No matter how popular it is, and I'm talking even when Michael Jordan was playing. Like even when Jordan was playing, motherfuckers was on some like, man, listen, they already know who's gonna win the championship. This shit boring. Don't nobody want to see this shit. I'm like, the nigga just won 72 games. We've never seen this before. Or I think it was 70 at the time. But it's like whatever it was, like they won, and it was like boring. What?
The Pistons were thugs. The Knicks were thugs. Like you look at this thug basketball. Like of course.
They never liked it at the time. They always liked it in hindsight. Like I think that's why I'm so incensed now is like when motherfuckers start pulling up like Tim Duncan's era Spurs and be like, that's what the league need. I'll be like, nah, see y'all drinking too much of the sauce.
Yeah, you looking like you mean some of the lowest rated NBA finals of all the times. Like I was there.
But I do have one thing, and then we can move off of sports because I know a lot of people have tuned out already.
Right, they zoned down there like these niggas.
Fuck them. This is what we do. The one thing I will say is Wemby gives me hope, not in the way that people like, oh, he's 7'12" and he fucking shoots a lot of threes and dunks and shit. That's not why. I think low key he might have the right kind of attitude to be the dude that's like, I'm a little bit crazy, and we need, to me, the best eras of NBA is when the best player is a little bit crazy, and it just makes it way better. Like if they not a little bit crazy, it becomes too friendly, and they all kind of get along, and the competitive vibes don't kick in. And it's just been a while since we had one of those.
Yeah, somebody was like,
I think LeBron is one of those. D Wade was one of those guys where like, and it's not that they're psychopath. You don't gotta be a psychopath,
right?
But there's a part of you that's like, I'm not really gonna be your friend.
Nope.
When it's time to play this game,
right? We might be cool off the court, but on the court, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
And I think Wemby is providing to me little inklings that he might be one of these niggas that's like, when we get to this All-Star game, I'm not on the court. I'm not on the court with y'all. Y'all on the court with me.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck about this bullshit where y'all like, oh, I'm too embarrassed to get dunked on. Don't block my shot. Like, I do want to block your shot. I do want to dunk on you. We're not really, like, I'm not even from here. And I'm not like Giannis. Like, I'm not trying to belong and be like, oh, it's like we all grew up in America together. It's like, no. I'm from France and I'm different. I want to play chess in the park. The other day when they asked him about,
them like, French dudes be overseas like Giannis be cooning in the NBA? Like, look at this.
Oh, for sure. I feel like it. Also, like, some of these games you look up, man, it's a lot of French niggas on this court.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's a lot of Hollywood Francais motherfuckers on the court and shit. Yep.
Yeah, they creeping up, man. I see why they team did good in the Olympics, man. I didn't know Tony Parker was doing it like
Tony
that.
Tony Parker went over there and was like, y'all know what? We getting ready to pump out a goddamn machine. Let's go.
But like, there's a level of like unimpressed that Wembanyama has with the rest of the league that I think I feel like people not really tapped into it for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe the record's
not there yet for me. He's not there
Yeah.
yet for me. He's not my guy yet. I see it, but like if with anything with a big man, if you don't have like that kind of big man personality, more the jovial type or whatever like that too, it doesn't translate. And also you need every big man needs a little dude with them.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm calling it early. This is not me saying he's here yet.
Okay.
I'm calling it early. I'm saying I see the stepping stone. I see the potential that we're like 3 years away from this nigga being like, I'm just fitting to fuck all y'all up. I don't really respect any of you. I've been in the doldrums. I've been down here in the basement in the lab working on my shit. Like that was the thing. They asked him the other day about trades. Like, you thinking about how they need to change this roster to like give you a better chance of the playoffs and shit. And he was on some like, I don't even think about that shit. I just think about my game, but the roster definitely gonna end up changing because the roster's always changing in NBA. It was no loyalty to nobody on that. He was like, man, fuck these niggas. I be working on Wemby shit. So what I'm looking for is to be good enough that it don't really matter who these niggas is the vibe that I got. And it's just an inkling. He's very young. Mm-hmm. So I don't expect this to happen like before 2027 or whatever. But it's just that mentality. That's the drops I'm looking for. Because, I'm a little bit disappointed in like Anthony Edwards. Because like he a little too cool with like when he got in the All-Star game last year and he seemed like, well, if they not taking this serious, I'm not taking it serious. I was like, nah, I need a little bit of sociopath. Just a little bit. Like when Kobe's in there, like, I'll break a nigga nose. Yeah.
No problem.
We playing basketball.
That's my guy. I've told you this for a minute. There's two guys. My guy is Luka and Ant. Ant is the next generation. Like, I think is a clear line in the saying that is and I like him because he's the type that says the emperor has no clothes. Like he will say, like, we suck. Like this motherfucker told you seen what Rudy did? Like when he was clowning Rudy. Like I like that, you know what I mean? But it just speaks to whole.
I like it too. Don't get me wrong. This is not me. I'm not trying to set up an agenda against Anthony, but it's I can see like you might not be the one to like, because I'm looking at the biggest picture in the world, which is the nigga to make the All-Star game good again is gonna be the chosen one. That's how it works. Like, is that like, so I'm not like, I got a very lofty goal. This ain't just is he gonna be a good player, Hall of Famer? No. If people keep talking about fixing the All-Star game, I'm like, it's only one way to fix it. You need one person who's as good as they are unimpressed with the rest of these motherfuckers.
And start dominating, and other niggas gonna be like, oh no, I'm gonna shut that shit down.
I thought Anthony Edwards could give us that last year. Especially after all them speeches and shit they gave them dudes, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan coming to the locker room. I said, okay, it only take one of these dudes because basketball is competitive. It doesn't fucking matter.
Competitive.
You can be in AAU. You can be rich. They could put $1 million on the table for every player in the All-Star game. None of this shit gonna matter. It just needs to make people feel. One person gotta feel competitive. And it'll light a fire in everybody. It's the same thing that happened with this NBA Cup shit.
Yes. They be playing hard as shit in them games.
All it take is one motherfucker to be serious. Look at this year was Giannis. Last year was LeBron. They was just like, I'm serious. I do want this shit. Didn't even fucking celebrate when they won the cup. Because it was like, nah, we just need to prove to these motherfuckers we ain't to be fucked with. Dame, you playing D for the next 3 weeks. That's it. No more of that bullshit. And they went out there and won that shit and kept Doc Rivers' job and everything. I feel like we need that with the All-Star game, but it's just got to be one of these YNs. That's I
think we got to do YNs versus OGs, like shirts versus skins. I think it got to be a cutoff, like 23 up to 20, and the old dudes over 30. Or if you over 30, you can only come off the bench. You got to work your way. Like, we got to figure something. We got to get ages.
I got a way to fix it. I think the easiest way to fix it is you put an NFL game on at the same time. Because apparently these niggas really take that shit.
Play hard when the ratings.
Yeah, they was like, y'all, this is our day. They was like, fuck y'all.
They was on Christmas playing hard.
Everybody was balling.
They need a ratings hologram on the court so you can see the Nielsen ratings go up and down depending on like momentum. Like if we playing like NBA Street. You fill that bar up.
personal. LeBron said that Christmas is our day. Like I said, damn, they really mad about this one. Dog.
Yes, I don't blame them.
Put the Super Bowl on during the All-Star game, see what happens. These niggas might fucking break somebody's ankles out that bitch. But yeah, man, that's been super interesting to watch this discussion around the NBA, man. I do feel like you said at the beginning, it's just we getting old, man, and motherfuckers just don't want to. They're just mad at the sky now rather than to be like.
And that's
how I look at the game. They're like, fuck that. This game is the kids are wrong.
They don't play with heart and toughness, and we be using words that don't even have athletic meaning, like grit.
Right.
Like that's how you know you an old motherfucker, and you just need to stop talking and enjoy things.
Yes, Don. When you start talking about shit about fundamentals, you be like, "Bitch, what is this? What we talking about here?"
Also, like, it's so funny when you hear niggas say shit like, "The league was better when we had Charles Oakley." I'm like, but it wasn't.
This motherfucker averaged 7 points a game. He was just setting hard fucking picks. It's because people only, like, once you get old, you only view things like the way that you thought you could athletically do it. So if you have a lot, like, he's not tough, he doesn't have the mentality.
Motherfucking Nicholas Batum and Tobias Harris would play Charles Oakley off the court. They would make him unplayable. Like, these niggas are like the ninth men in the NBA right now.
Oh, like we always say it, like Manute Bol actually got to play in real NBA games, and he was like a circus like attraction. Like it would just have this walking stick just come out on stage like Slender Man, like and just do nothing. And then they would let him shoot a three every once in a while. Like they were already playing fucking 5-on-4.
The big thing for me is the more fun exercise for me is going back, looking at old NBA players who couldn't make it during their era and be like, I wonder what they'd be now.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga like Walt the Wizard Williams would have been a problem now.
Yes.
But back then he was just like he get you 8 and 8.
Yeah, the players were before their time. Yeah.
Now you make that motherfucker, you go 5 out and just be like, whoa, go ahead, get their ass. This nigga be averaging 20 today. You know what I'm saying?
Deadlift Shrimp is my guy.
Deadlift Shrimp, yes.
Another dude, like Chris Gatling.
Yes.
Shoot the three and was like one of the first like bigs that could do a little bit of everything.
Rashard Lewis was a beast at the time, but he would be a star player now. Like he was a problem at the time, but it was like a novelty. Like, damn, they letting the 6'10" nigga shoot a lot of threes. If in this era where that's not a problem, man,
dominating.
But that's more fun to me than to be like, back in my day, Anthony Mason would have okay, well that I like.
Imagine if NBA 2K had grit on it as a rating, like we should just have an NBA 2K for old motherfuckers. Like you just have all those like grit intensity, like
from 0 to 10.
Yeah, 0 to 10. How much bitch is this man? You're like, you seen Rudy Gobert bitch rating? That shit is an 87.
That's hilarious.
Another thing that's happened since last time we've been on, Drake and Kendrick happened, and I felt like it really like dropped the light skin stock for a while.
It was a tough time.
How are y'all recovering? Like, is it getting any better? Is it because now this nigga's going so ironic? By the way, matter of fact, let me pull up my soundboard.
What do you do now? Like it was a wild time. Like Canadian Kid Icarus flew really close to the fucking sun,
right?
Melted his light skin wings off, and
his fucking braids melted.
Yeah, that Geico commercial with the guy on the.
So let me play my clip because I was right.
Rob was right.
Oh shit!
Rob was right. Rob was right. Rob was right. Yep, Rob was right. Yeah, Rob was right. Ooh, what was that again? Oh yeah, Rob was right. Rob was right.
So I said one of the ways he could get out of this, and I hoped he didn't take this route, but it seems like he might be taking this route. I said one of the ways he can do is just go MAGA.
Oh no!
Just go alt-right. Just go ahead, hard turn to the alt-right because you already make toxic music. We already know, like, you're already being accused of being a pedophile. We all know that, the black people are against you, So now you can move this pivot to like, what the real problem is with hip hop in America? The blacks. And so he went on Adam Ross's stream.
Okay.
You've been kicking it with him, not academics. Adam Ross is like a he's a manosphere-ish, right-ish. Like, I don't know that he's overtly political or not, but he's like, kind of like the conservative troll type of whiteness. Like, not
he's an engagement fiend. He got to be in on everything hot.
Exactly. So he's like, and nothing's off limits for him. So if it's MAGA is hot, then MAGA is hot. If having Trump on is a good move, having Trump on is a good move. He don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, that Joe Rogan type of thing.
So Drake went on his stream last night, and they gave away like a bunch of gifts and all this stuff. But Drake was on there talking shit about Not Like Us and Kendrick and all this stuff.
That thing bothers him. As much as he said don't bother him, it's like that shit bothers you.
He mocked Euphoria. He brought up someone brought up Sexy Red, and he brought up like that "too bad bitches" line, because I think he's trying to fight through the joke by embracing it, but it's not. I mean, it's too accurate for that to work. Sometimes jokes be like that. If it's too accurate, you actually can't fight through it by being like, "It is, haha, what if that was true?" Because everybody's like, "It is true, bitch." It's like, oh, no, I mean, wouldn't it be funny if I thought we was two bad bitches? You do think y'all two bad bitches, you duck lip picture motherfucker. So he's not really able to fight through it with black people, but I think you can do that shit with Adam Ross's audience.
Yeah.
And with like a certain contingent of like, and there's a lot of like hip hop fans who aren't really fans of like black people and culture and stuff. It's like how Andrew Schultz has an audience.
Yes, he does.
Like, just because niggas try to tell you on Twitter he don't got he's never been funny.
Oh, he has a huge audience.
Like, the crowd don't give a fuck about what y'all care about. They gonna be there, which is why these motherfuckers be sounding so confident, because they be like, oh, I've been canceled and I filled up arena. It's like, right, because there's a certain type of person that don't give a fuck about what, the womanism sphere is talking about. I think Drake is making that pivot to trying to be palling around with the kind of toxic niggas. And I think that might be his way out.
I can't disagree. I mean, because that was a momentous ass whooping that you had to like experience. And when you get your first ass whooping, like, you ever get into a fight and then lose, and then you just looking around like, who's on my team? Like, who's on my side? And then no matter who's left, you just think I might have to go with this side or be in the background. And I don't think
he ain't rapping.
He is
at
not.
all.
Like, this nigga's full. He's streaming now. He's on a stream. He read a letter from a fan and almost said "fuck Kendrick" when reading a letter. Like, bro, that's not a bar. That's not a rap. It's not a beat under that.
And he could sing his way out of this too, if he wanted to. Like, he could easily sing his way out, and that's how you know you so. Like, you don't even want to do the thing that you know you good at, or like because you got cooked.
It's almost like he's so far gone that he can't come back.
Unless he comes back out on stage with Kendrick in Toronto. How do we feel about this? Is the only thing that's worrying me, is that if that happens, how does everyone feel?
That's never gonna
happen.
Do you feel betrayed?
I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I'm willing to be shocked by the moment. That's how far out of my mind it is.
Marvel, what if? What if Drake comes out on stage with Kendrick? What do we do?
I literally can't imagine. I'm just gonna have to let you know when it happens, because I literally can't imagine it. As a Kendrick Lamar hardcore fan, he been talking shit about Drake for over 10 years. So, and it's like way before the public was on to it. You can just, like, now in hindsight, you go back and listen to old ass songs and be like, God damn, he ain't like them then? Didn't they just do a song together? Like, so to me, it would be shocking. It would be, I just need to be shocked. I would have to be like, damn.
Twist of the century.
Yeah, and I don't even know what would have to happen for him to do it. And I don't think it's beyond Kendrick, in that Kendrick's a very religious, like, I don't want to say zealot, but he's a very religious dude. In that if he was convinced in some type of way that it meant more to the world to see him and Drake patch it up than it meant for him to take Drake and everything that he stands for out of hip hop, I think he would do it, no matter how it looked to other people. I just, at this point, can't see what scenario where that would happen, you know? But mostly that's also because of Drake. I can't imagine Drake having a level of humility and growth that would allow him to be like, I did lose. You did beat me. You better than me. Let's just fucking get this bread together for the good of hip hop. I can't imagine him even having an epiphany like that. So it's more likely someone gonna get shot at that show than that shit gonna happen.
I want to see him come back like Hollywood Hogan in the NWO. Like he make the heel turn. That was the other thing that made me mad about the whole thing, because like I was following it and what I'm not a huge, like I'm a bigger Kendrick fan. I got Drake in my phone, don't get me wrong, but I've never, I can't tell you like an album or like whatchamacallit. Like
I would say, you know, you were one of the bigger Drake fans of our age group.
Yes,
because, and I don't even mean that. I'm not casting aspersions. I really mean that because I listen to hip hop a lot too. So I never saw Drake as like some off limits, like turn that shit off. I feel like this shit been so bad, motherfuckers been lying. Like I would never listen to him. He was never on my Spotify rap. I'm like, okay, nigga,
don't lie.
You a lie. And the reason I know you a lie is because people that legitimately do hate Drake, like Bomani, they been fighting a battle.
Yes.
Like it ain't been they come in the room and say, man, turn that Drake off, and everybody's like, agreed. It's been like, niggas, fuck you talking about.
See, that's why I think he can make a comeback, like on some Trump shit. Like, because when you start like Lord Voldemort and like you don't want to say his name or you never was on his team, that's how he fucking sneaks back into fucking the kingdom. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's how he comes back, but he has to make a turn. Like, there has to be a hard like turn, and then when he comes back, it's going to be bad.
I just can't. I don't know. This is why we live, because I can't imagine what he could do or what he's willing to do. Because I like getting in the booth to me was number one. Like, either you stay in that motherfucking booth, keep putting out music, you fight your way through it and be like, look at these charts, I'm still out here.
Right.
Or you just go away on sabbatical and you pop up later. I think zero of us would have picked option 3, which is like, make a bunch of weird Instagram posts and sub tweets and go
parachute pants,
go on some streams and hang out with streamers, like
say weird shit.
None of us would have picked. We were like, no, don't do none of that shit. Like,
right, that's stupid.
Either rap or don't rap, but none of this. Like, here I am in some weird cargo pants at my son's soccer game.
Hilarious.
Like, what are you doing, my
right?
Anyway,
I think you make Family Matters and you thought like, okay, I'm good. And then when like just the bigger song comes out after that, like that had to been soul crushing. Like there's parts of me that feel bad for this man, like because like even like I know we can change as a country because we collectively came together over like 6 months just to hate this one individual. So it's in us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As Americans, to be like, you know what? Fuck that foreigner. Like, it
is.
Like we all little rap MAGA a little bit. Like, and then just like everything that has happened until now, this is the power of social media as well. But again, the comeback can happen. Like 53% of people can start voting in the real direction that they said.
Yeah, right.
Like, stop believing white people. We already learned, like, I don't fuck with Drake. What? Right. And then he's gonna go on one MAGA podcast, and he's gonna be everywhere.
The wave gonna change.
If he was willing to just, and this is the other thing too, and this is the reason I think it could happen. I just don't know if he's willing to do it. Remember how long it took rappers to let the Kanye shit go? And some of them are still holding on. But I remember during the height of his, like, I'm out of my mind and I'm saying racist stuff about black people, there were niggas like Chance the Rapper still copping pleas and like being in photos and shit, like, hey man, see my idol Kanye out at the club. I'm like, didn't he just say he loves Nazis and black people deserve to be slaves? It's like, oh, I guess. So we off there. So we just, I mean, he just be talking, man. We can't just be throwing people in the trash. So somebody say one thing, and it's like, I think Drake could have pulled that with a certain group of people where it's like, Yeah, he doing MAGA raps, and yeah, he performing at the Trump inauguration. But that don't mean that he not black. Motherfucking Michael Eric Dyson was making excuses for his ass in the middle of the beef, and Michael Eric Dyson supposed to be extra black for professionally. So like he could have had a way. I think he may have waited too long. Like you need to make that pivot right away. Mm-hmm. Soon as he said, "Nigga, I said it," he should have been saying it with the hard R. Joe Rogan should have been in the background. Like he should have did a whole pivot. Tony Hinchcliffe should have been in there dancing. Like he should have did a whole fucking thing. Speaking of politics,
Rogan should have did the thing like Dave Chappelle does. Just come on the song, just start talking over top, and then the beat comes behind it. You know how Dave like to do that.
Well, speaking of that, have y'all heard, Dom? This pertains to you as well. Have you been seeing what Fat Joe's up to?
No.
Oh no.
I feel
I can only imagine. This is a tough time for Latinos.
It's a tough time. It's a tough time.
Like that, you all of a sudden, like the election came, and like on Tuesday and shit, I was a Puerto Rican nigga, and now I got to call myself Afro Latino. Mm-hmm. Like everything fast. You have
no, I am not in Latino news. What's happening?
Okay, so there's a couple things happening, and I gotta say, it's not really my fight, but I've been getting my life to it quietly, without really chiming in on it and having an opinion. Okay, so what happened is Tony Hinchcliffe made that joke about Puerto Rico being an island of trash.
Yes, right? That comedian. Yes,
and a lot of Latino, a lot of Puerto Rican people that either had kind of been like out of the fray or being like, maybe I don't fuck with the conservatives, but I'm not gonna like fuck my bread up. I'm just gonna get this. They was like, actually, fuck that. Fuck MAGA, fuck Trump, and fuck you motherfuckers that vote for him.
Yeah.
Which is a significant portion. It might not be the majority, but it's a significant portion of Latinos where they'll be like, hey, you know what? It's about the economy, or you know what? I actually don't fuck with illegal. I came here legally. I don't fuck with illegal immigrants, or like whatever their reasoning was. Once you call my fucking island trash, it's right. Like, man,
something to say.
Fuck all that shit. Like, I still remember you throwing them paper towels like jump shots, bitch. Like,
yes, he did.
So, like, it brought a lot of the anger to the front, and Fat Joe was talking with his chest. Like, he started campaigning for Kamala Harris. He was doing events. Nigga was on at these speaking panels. He called Latinos that vote for Trump Uncle Toms and Coons. Like,
going out there next, wouldn't it?
He went real hard. And because he's one of the pioneers of hip hop, and because he's very black adjacent, he has a level of authority to his shit that's not just someone coming in from like out of nowhere. But you got to contend with the new niggas, the FBA niggas.
Nigga. You can't fuck with FBAs on Twitter. I don't even be saying like I paid for an X subscription so I can take nigga out of my tweets just in case and be like, you know what? I don't even have the time for these FBAs right now. Like the fucking black Israelites of X, man. Like they will fry. Like Like I'm not trying to even. Like I'd be apologized. Like I should think about how I say this word now.
Yes,
you're right. Because as a Pan-Africanist, I can't.
You're right. So the FBAs are like Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar.
Okay.
What FBA stands for? I think it's like either fully born African or first blood. Like it's basically
niggas it was like foundational
black African or something like that. Basically, if you was a slave, a descendant from slaves in America, you count as a different type of black. And those are the only and only those type of blacks should look out for each other, and everybody else fuck them.
Well, damn.
So if you African, you the enemy, you ain't from here. If you Puerto Rican, you the enemy, you ain't from here. And you ain't full blood black African slave. You can't trace your roots back to that. We not fucking with you. They didn't like Kamala Harris because she was too Indian for them. They was, she's Southeast Asian. She even black. They were saying she wasn't black. You know, this is one of the reasons I said when I understand why, and I get it, and I'm not saying it was bad political strategy, but I didn't like when they did the we need to get the black man vote with the black man package. I was like, it's just them fucking Tariq Nasheed niggas. They're never gonna vote for you.
True.
So just fuck them. Ignore them. Let's just concentrate on the good black men that's over here already. Cause them niggas over there, that them former pimps that now claim to be movement leaders, they not coming. They not coming. Well, Fat Joe being against MAGA and being like anti-Trump and all this, it really put those dudes put a stick in their craw, because they was like, we actually fuck with Trump, because Trump is very anti-immigrant, supposedly very anti-immigrant, all this shit. So they was on some like, they very conservative. They don't like women, they don't like gays. So like they're like, we low-key okay with Trump, and this the Democrats that's the real problem. So Fat Joe put his foot in the ground and said, actually fuck y'all too. And it's been World War motherfucking 3 between Fat Joe and them FBA niggas.
It was like, the fuck y'all talking about?
And Fat Joe, and like, this is one of them times where it's like that Godzilla meme where dude would just say, let them fight. I just been letting them fight because I low-key kind of like what Fat Joe be saying, even though I am from the South, and no person that's not black supposed to be able to say nigga that much. I just go by the rules of like, if it's New York and y'all letting it fly, I'm gonna just say that those are the local rules.
Yes, those are the local rules.
I don't understand them down. It wouldn't happen that way down here, but that's not for me to talk about, right? So now
Joe is definitely not leaning back on this one at all.
Nah, he definitely not. And and so Fat Joe is like, listen, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I'm part of hip hop, and I'm against Trump, and y'all the real coons, and I'm not gonna stop saying nigga. And
he doubled down. He was like, oh, word, fuck y'all.
And at the risk of not being able to monetize this show, I have to play this thing on the show because this is what brought me so much joy. Okay, it's been my secret joy. I'm gonna bring it to the podcast now. You can all enjoy it together. But there's a new song, Fat Joe album called "The World Changed on Me."
Okay,
and it's called Us. It's got Fat Joe on it. It's got Chris Rock on it.
Okay.
Now, knowing what I just told y'all, now listen to this with this knowledge of like this FBA shit, them trying to kick Fat Joe out of being part of hip hop, out of black culture. They even made a video trying to say like Latinos and Puerto Ricans and all these people had nothing to do with the foundation of hip hop. It was only by black people in America, which is kind of crazy.
Ain't it though? Because we all mixed and mingled.
It was New York, and you also got breaking, you also got tagging. There's no fucking way only black people was doing that. Anyway, but they fighting is the point. All right, now listen to this shit. This is crazy, okay?
I'd like to make a toast to hip-hop music, the first art form. Jazz, rock and roll, the blues, all created by black men that were either slaves or in slave-like conditions. But hip-hop is the first art form created by free black men. And nobody exerts that freedom like Fat motherfucking Joe.
The amount of trolling that just happened in that, like, I had heard this before I knew he was beefing with them. And like, I immediately texted like 3 people like, hey man, what's up with Fat Joe? Is he all right? Cause that intro, it wasn't like he said black and Hispanic men. He didn't say BIPOC. He didn't say people of color. He didn't say black and brown. He said free black men on purpose multiple times. And then said, when I think of free black men, I think of Fat motherfucking Joe. And I'm like, okay, I fuck with Fat Joe. But when I think of free black men, the list stars a long ways away from Fat Joe. Like And I never even would have thought Fat Joe would call himself a free black man. I feel like he would be like, no, I'm not black, and that's okay. I still love hip hop. And anyway, then this nigga said nigga a bunch of times. And the name of the song is Us, so that's why they keep saying us over and over. We're just gonna play a few of the bars.
It's just us, nigga. Fuck the feds, fuck the cops and the judge, nigga. Who can you trust, nigga? Just us, nigga. Angel Reese, Juju Watkins, that's us, nigga. Us.
This is me.
He claiming everybody.
This is me when I want to reply back to the FBAs on Twitter, but I don't. I just be in the back, just yelling at the tweet post at my phone. Like, what, nigga? Like,
No,
Fat Joe was like, we're in the same boat.
this shit is literally
this is me
reply.
typing it up and not hitting send in the reply
Yes.
post.
This shit is literally his reply to FBA. It ain't got nothing to do with the rest of us. He made this song to make Dr. Umar mad as hell. That's it. And he keep going. Bro, when he mentioned Angel Reese and Juju Watkins, I said, hey man, I don't know that I can be mad at this. That is us.
That is us.
That is
Oh
us.
man.
Like he claiming them. He going up harder than some niggas went up for him.
Come
you know?
on.
But it don't stop there. I got a couple more lines.
Oh shit, it don't stop.
Couple more lines.
Boy George, Guy Fisher, yeah, that's us too. If I got it, then we got it, that's us too. We got trust issues. It's the ones with you. You broke my heart, now we don't fuck with you.
He mad as hell.
Ain't he mad?
He's mad as hell. And I really think we can go all the way back to Tony Hinchcliffe and that Puerto Rican joke.
I don't know, man. I think that's a side effect of Ozempic and shit. Like,
Oh, you think those him making him angry?
I think that's one of them things that pop up on a commercial and shit. Like the last little lines, like if you are fucking with FBAs on Twitter, like you can't take this medication. Like this is
You're gonna reply all, and it's gonna be over.
That's like when they be like, if don't take this if you have the HIV virus. You just like, I got enough going on in my life. No.
I've been sending this shit to all my like race nerd type people to be like, what do we think about this? And I feel like to a T, everybody's come back with the like, let them fight. Like, I don't really fuck with them FBA niggas either. And I've never really been like go up for Fat Joe's ability to say the N-word nigga, but I also am not gonna fight against him calling their ass out. I like that they fighting. You know, so good luck to them, you know, and good luck to all of us, apparently.
Yeah, you don't want them FBAs on your timeline in your algorithm at all.
I light you up.
I've had it happen before. It's not a pleasant experience. You know, I'm not scared of them like in that way because I just literally have changed the way I look at the internet and social media to a point where, like, honestly, if you can't come by my house and like fuck me up, I don't care. I'd really like, it's just got to be like that. That's how you gotta. That's the only way to stay sane. Like,
only way to stay
I
sane.
look at the old shit I used to go through where it's like strangers on the internet being mad at me and how it used to bother me in my house and be like, damn, that I was different. Because I really can't imagine caring about that many people's opinion just in life. And I'm not saying that on some like cavalier, like I'm a badass. Like,
right.
I feel more ashamed that I used to care than I feel like the default should be where I'm at now for everybody, where it's like, I don't like your clothes. Like, okay, nigga, like, and you don't, I will never see you. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean?
There's a little part of like that, like me now too. Like I don't even have burner accounts no more because if I'm going to say it, I'm just going to say it. I don't really.
Right. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
And like, that's another thing that's changed for me with my mentality. When I don't say stuff, it's not because I'm afraid of the backlash. It's more like I don't say it because I don't give a fuck if there would be backlash. And once you work from that point, you start thinking like, then I shouldn't really give a fuck to say it. Like, it doesn't really matter if I say it or not. If I don't care, like like if I make a point politically about something and it starts going viral, which sometimes it does, I'll mute my own shit now because I actually wasn't trying to have a conversation.
Right.
Like very rarely
about your opinion.
And when I want to have a conversation, this shit don't work. Like the other day I asked like, yo, how am I supposed to know when these amino acids working when you supposed to be lifting weights? Like my trainer was like, drink these amino acids or whatever. Am I gonna like feel the difference? Am I gonna have more energy? I'm gonna feel twitchy. Am I gonna feel less, like, will I not know to the next day if I don't feel sore? Like, what's the, two replies. But if I say some shit like, I don't know, Elon Musk kind of make a good point about the HB1 visa ass niggas. 37 different people explaining to me why, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't ask y'all opinion. So it's just, I asked y'all opinion, I can't get shit. Y'all know everything any other time. That's what I should have tweeted. Amino acids are the best. No downsides ever. Just drinking 3 quarts a day. And then people would have been like, actually, amino acids cause cancer and you will be twice as sore. Like, then they would have sent me to Google shit. Anyway.
How you get a community note on the end of your shit?
Right. But yeah, it's just good for talking shit. Speaking of immigrants, did y'all see this shit with MAGA where they fighting?
Oh, new MAGA and old MAGA is definitely fighting online and shit. Yes.
Oh, new MAGA and old MAGA?
Yes.
And
especially when big head as Vivek, what's his name? Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah, started talking shit about old America. Oh my God. It's one of the funniest threads I've fucking followed in a while.
So basically Elon Musk bankrolled Trump's campaign, right? And a lot of Trump's campaign is about xenophobia. It's about get the immigrants out of the country. We don't want y'all here. You're taking white jobs. We're going to deport everybody, including people that are legally here. If they have anyone in their family who's illegally here, you got to go too. Like, it's very, like, very on its face, xenophobic. But, and of course, Elon Musk pals around with a lot of like Nazi symbolism and Nazi accounts and right-leaning bullshit, whatever. Well, as part of bankrolling Trump's campaign, Elon Musk is like, I want an office set up called Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, because it need to be named after that fucking cryptocurrency that he's trying to like, get people to buy. So he's like, I want to be in charge of this. And it's an unofficial office that essentially means president is my bitch. I pay for everything. We gonna do what I feel like doing. And one of the things that he wants, and Vivek Ramaswamy is his man, they're gonna be both on the part of this Department of Energy or whatever, the government efficiency. They both was like, well, now that Trump is gonna be in office and we gonna be making policies, we actually do want the Indian and Asian immigrants that went to school and can come over here and do these tech jobs. We want them to keep coming. We're not kicking them out the country, and we're not giving them jobs to white people, because whoever is best for the job should get the job. No DEI for whites. Okay? Now, you would think that would be offensive enough, but they've been going on Twitter fighting back, and they've been talking cold cash shit to these Republicans and these conservatives. It's a very uncouth ways.
They thought it was going to be one way, and it's another. Was like, oh, they don't give a fuck about y'all either.
He said, he called, let's see, Elon Musk defended his position bluntly, responding to claims about white men not getting hired by saying, we're just dumb. Musk has consistently argued for recruiting top-tier talent globally, likely in America, to a sports team. If you want your team to win a championship, you need to recruit top talent wherever that may be. He also emphasized that limiting immigration will ultimately hurt the country's competitiveness, particularly in fields like AI and semiconductors. So a guy said, white men aren't being hired anymore. A few months ago, I applied to work for X and noted on my resume that I was retired and didn't require any salary. I have a lot of experience as a mobile developer, didn't even get a response. So Elon Musk said, we're just dumb. Then later he said, no, we need more, like double that number yesterday, saying how many more immigrants they need. The number of people who are super talented engineers and super motivated in the US is far too low. think of this like a pro sports team, blah, 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 right? What I said earlier. And so someone called the MAGA people the R word. He replied and liked that tweet and co-signed it. Like it's gotten bad. It's gotten bad. And Trump has picked their side.
Of course, because they want those people because they don't have to pay the white man American paychecks, but they get the benefits of their intelligence, which a lot of times is much, much, much higher.
Also, that visa kind of makes you their bitch.
Right.
Meaning, like, when you don't have a job, you got to get the fuck out the country, which is a leverage you really can't have over an American. So American doesn't like the hours. They don't like the pay. They then at some point they can just be like, fuck it, I'm going to go back to being an American and work somewhere else.
Right.
Whereas you got to take your ass all the way back across the world.
Right.
So you going to sleep here.
Yes, if we demand it. You gonna work 120 hours a week if we demand it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's gotten real bad over there. And everybody's been partying over it because it turned into eventually him calling white people, like them saying white people got a cultural problem.
You don't say.
Like they might need to pull their pants up, raise their kids a little better.
Hilarious.
Get some hard working cultural touchstones in their community.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. Stop being so lazy.
Stop being so sensitive.
Stop sucking on the government's tit.
Ramaswamy said the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans, in quotes, isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy and wrong explanation. The key part of it comes down to the C word, culture. Tough questions demand tough answers. If we're really being serious about fixing the problem, we have to confront the truth. He also went on and started talking about American sitcoms and being like, Americans like Stephen Urkel more than Steve Urkel, and that's one of their problems. See, he got
a streak for no fucking reason.
We went on a 90s sitcom rant. That shit was hilarious. Like, this is what happens when you let nerds get in charge.
Yep.
Like, we let the bullying campaign go too far to the left. Like, this is why you should be allowed to still push people on lockers and at least say some nerd shit. Like, no, the nerds can't be in charge full time. One side can't be 100% in charge. Bring back bullying.
A wedgie would have helped both of these men out and helped the world out. Someone could have saved us all with a noogie. The prom queen over the math Olympiad champ. He says that's what the 90s sitcoms prefer. The jock over the valedictorian, allowing other countries like China to retain talented engineers while the U.S. lost top recruits. Our American culture has venerated mediocrity and our excellence for way too long, at least since the 90s and likely longer. That doesn't start in college. It starts young. Normalcy doesn't cut it in the hyper-competitive global market for technical talent. And if we pretend like it does, we have our asses handed to us by China. MAGA did not like it.
What y'all gonna do about it? Nothing.
Yeah.
MAGA came into the thread with that Dukes of Hazzard car and shit. They drove in there quick with the flags and shit. They
was getting racist.
We need to squat up. But let me tell you something, brown man. Like, they went off.
Yes, that's all they got.
Also, anytime this comes up, I love that this picture of Elon Musk comes out. It's amazing. It's an amazing picture of just letting a nerd win, just letting a fucking nerd in the building control everything.
We can't let the nerds and the FBAs link up together though. That's too powerful of an army.
That is too much. We might implode for real.
All 12 of them gonna be mad as hell. MAGA acolytes like Laura Loomer and right-wing firebrands such as Ann Coulter and Mike Cernovich shot back that Musk and Ramaswamy were only favoring foreign labor for their own Silicon Valley needs. Their criticism noted how the visas make it difficult for foreign nationals to leave jobs and drive down the wages of American workers. Oh, you mean it was never about what they said it was about?
Right.
Oh, is that what y'all telling me? What? They was lying? What? It's actually gonna be bad for the economy. What? Well, who would have possibly have said that at the time? But yeah, they're all outraged and shit over there.
Fucking fake outrage.
That's why the Democratic strategy is just lean back, stay the fuck out for a little bit. Don't hit reply on that tweet you want to send. Don't engage. Just
why
sit in the background.
Elon Musk is threatening to take out MAGA politicians Republicans that don't get on board with this shit, by the way. So the ones that have criticized him over the weekend, he's like, I'm gonna fund y'all's opponents. We're gonna primary all of y'all. I'm gonna take my big ass money and overhaul the Republican Party. Y'all gonna do what the fuck I tell y'all to do.
I don't know, but Elon ain't never ran into some foundational white Americans before.
Not yet.
That's gonna be a whole different ball game.
Yes, it is.
Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend, Elon Musk said on Twitter. Like, he said that to the MAGAs. Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself in the face.
That's very disrespectful. That's very disrespectful to say. I can't wait to see this unfold. I cannot wait to see this unfold.
I've also never seen that, like, white people insults. This is why I don't understand why they try to take our slang. White people insults are good.
If you would have put buddy on the end of that, what he just said, that would have been a fire ass line.
I've never heard a black person say, take a big step back.
And fuck yourself in the face, buddy.
That's a bar. That's worse than not like us, dog.
Ain't it though?
That's so insulting. I don't know what I would do.
How you respond to that? You have to blink trying to process it.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know why white people keep taking our shit like we're using the Gen X slang. Like, no, just don't work. Just use take y'all old shit back. A good fucking yada, a fucking. You're biting off more than you can chew. Like, keep that shit. Them was some good recipes y'all had cooking up back there, man. Take a big step back.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That dog don't hunt.
I like that one. That dog don't hunt. One of my personal favorites.
You ain't got to make this complicated. Y'all got everything y'all
That's
need.
a good one. Cut the crap.
Yeah. Cut the crap. That's why I think that's why Joe Biden won, because he was like malarkey. He brought that shit back.
I think that's why he lost, because he brought it back the first time, but the second time you heard malarkey, he was like, oh no.
Yeah, he could. Well, the second time he was getting old, and then people was like, did he mean to say malarkey? You know what I mean? The first time it was like, yeah, exactly. Cut the malarkey. We need some old school white people.
Because he had a lot of spirit and shit. The second time he said it, he looked like a Chuck E. Cheese character and shit. He was just moving like old animatronics.
Yeah, it wasn't as smooth. But yeah, Ramaswamy and Musk versus the racists is good, because they're racist too, but just they're racist for their benefit.
Yep.
They're like, let these new slaves over here. Damn, what's the problem? We not gonna treat them good.
We sure not. Y'all just won't get the jobs.
Then Elon, in his Elon way, after talking all that shit about the old Twitter and talking all that shit about freedom of speech, he started doing what he's been doing to a bunch of liberal people for years. He started banning their accounts off of Twitter for criticizing him. The MAGA people.
That's what the fuck he does.
X account Conservative OG which has more than 430,000 followers, has claimed his verification status was removed.
That's the
I
bullshit.
told you to take a step back, and I was going to fuck you in the face, buddy.
You ain't believe me.
You must not be from around here.
What if that was in your shit when you pulled up your profile? It just said, I told you, fuck yourself in the face, buddy. Has been... That's the news. Your account has been blocked or removed.
When they send you that email, that shit be like, your face has been fucked.
You just got FYFB'd.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It said it appears it appears that Elon Musk intentionally shut us down. The account complained on Twitter. Is this the new status quo for America's most free social media platform?
Child, get out of here.
That's what it's been, bitch. You just ain't been on that side
You
of
ain't
it.
been on the receiving side, right?
This is for all the white people who want to go to BlueSky now. Is that what it's called? BlueSky? BlueSky?
Yeah, they're gonna be coming over to
First
Threads.
of all, if you was posting you was moving to BlueSky, stay the fuck away from me, or BlueSky or whatever. Get out of here with your performative bullshit. I don't want to hear that. Stay on X and fight the FBAs like all of us do.
I'm staying on X too. But what's funny is like
I double down. I verify my account and everything. I want to edit. I'm getting messy. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm in this now. I'm nowhere. I got a blue
for the upgrades. You was like, well, shit, if I'm gonna stay, it's gonna be as comfortable as possible, bitch.
I want 60 minutes to refix my fucking tweet. I don't give a shit.
I can't go as far as giving him the money, but I do long for the days of the edit button. I miss that
too, because I paid for
the amount of tweets I have that are one word off from being great is astronomical. Like the amount of times I hit send, look back and be like, damn, what nobody feeling it. Oh, that's because I said whom. I meant to say who. Well, shit, no wonder they ain't retweet that. That don't make no sense now.
Oh man.
But yeah, but it's funny though. It's funny because BlueSky is super uptight. I don't tell.
Yes, they are.
I know the super and like
it's the same thing as Threads. Like, how you gonna have an application that sounds like that's what it's hanging on to? Because nobody is using this fucking thing. Who wants to go to Threads or BlueSky? Get away from me. You're people on my side that I don't want to be near me as well. Like, okay, you went to BlueSky. If you got that in your bio, find me on BlueSky. I'm not fucking following you. I'm not.
The problem with BlueSky is that everybody that is over there right now is over there because they got traumatized by the election and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually not a good environment for just kicking it. And I'm a just kicking it type of nigga. I can make good political points and all that stuff, but that ain't like my default. I don't want to. I do that when I can't take it no more. I don't do that I don't wake up like, guys, did you see the newest thing? Like, I'm not that guy. And so when I be over there trying to make jokes, it never goes well. And it's not because I'm controversial. It's because they the worst type of person to make a joke with. Someone that's just been traumatized is not in a place to have fun. So I can go over there and say something funny that's not even political. Like, anybody ever notice it takes longer to go to a cashless restaurant than when you just used to use cash? Why the fuck do it take so long?
Right.
And these motherfuckers will be on there like, yeah, I think part of that is the technology is not caught up. And I'm like, no, I was just wanting to bitch about the cashless thing. Like, this wasn't a real conversation I was trying to have. It was just like an observation. They're like, well, because a lot of people need those jobs because college education has declined and student debt is at an all-time high. And I'm like, this is not a place that you can make this the world's least coolest party. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows, and that's the last part is this. And shout out to my man Randolph Terrace. Also, everybody over there is like secretly furious.
Yes.
Like everybody, no matter what they talking about, the undercurrent is like, and we are still fucking mad at Elon Musk, Twitter, white people, the election, Democrat. We mad as fuck about everything. And when motherfuckers secretly mad, you're never really talking about the thing that you're talking about.
Nope.
So I can't be like, oh man, can't believe Patrick Mahomes threw 3 interceptions today. It's gonna turn into like, and his wife's MAGA. Now, how does he deal with that? He has black children. I'm like, whoa, I'm going back to Twitter where they would have just been like, nigga fucked up my parlay. And went on.
That's some foundational Twitter Americans is on.
Yeah, it is, y'all. It is.
You don't want them around. Get away from me. You fucking up my vibe.
But yeah, I do love that they're fighting each other. Only thing I will say is I can't be but too happy about it because they're not passing into legend. None of this is real yet.
Mm-mm.
It's
That
only
part.
Yeah, when they take office and start passing rules and shit, that's when I think it's time to be like they fighting. Because I think conservatives do a lot of this shit where they be fighting and then it be time to get something done and they be like, yeah, we squashed that.
Right. It's performative.
That's why we can't win, because they can do that and we don't. We start splitting hairs, and then we like listening to somebody say free Palestine from Canada, and you be like, you don't even go here. Yeah. Like what? Like, and then we just no. It'd be no.
And people, then people just really, they don't vote. It's like they'll do that, but at the end of the day, everybody will get that shit together and be on the same page. We'll do that, and we were really split.
Yeah, I just feel like they do this a lot, and then we get excited, but none of this shit counts. So I can't be too excited about it yet. Like if they are fighting like this when it's time to legislate, then sure. That was a tweet where a man said, "Are people really dumb enough to think they can convince at Elon Musk, an immigrant to the United States who has generated untold wealth and national security advantage for our economy and nation out of thin air, that high-skilled immigration is bad for Americans? Like, seriously?" And he said, "My tolerance for subtards is limited." So basically calling the MAGA people that don't agree with them R words. Subtards. Hard R.
I'm not saying nothing, because that's a funny word and I don't want to get in trouble.
Yep.
I know why that's some shit that made people go to BlueSky.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted
to avoid that.
And also, every once in a while, like the MAGA people have a hit. Like racism hits sometimes, and so every once in a while they have one. I'll never give them credit because I'm that petty.
Nope.
Like I'm not the type to be like, you got to give it up, Trump funny. I hate those niggas.
Me too.
Do I think it? Sometimes I think it, and I just will never tell y'all.
You know how many times I wanted to do that dance to a video?
That shit is it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
But then you see Nick Bosa get a sack and do that shit, and you be furious. You know what
Agreed.
I mean? Like, this motherfucker, he hate niggas. Like that's all that be letting me know. He hate his teammates.
Oh man.
Right.
Breaking news.
What happened?
D'Angelo Russell getting traded to the Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah. I thought he was supposed to go to the Suns.
Yeah.
That's a sideways move, though.
Yeah, I don't know enough about Dorian Finney-Smith to know that helps.
Just a long big on the side that can shoot threes from the corner, play good defense, and he ain't a championship piece.
Who is that? So now they point guard is what, Austin Reeves? Yep. I guess. I don't even know who their backup point is.
Probably Knack, Dalton, whatever.
Yeah, you have him run point. Like, I don't think he can run point. Maybe they got another move they're gonna make, a free agent they're gonna pick up or something. Anyway, you know what I think is funny about it though? D'Angelo Russell is a nigga that gotta go. That much is sure. I every time I watch them, I've never seen a brother that plays so carefree in my life. And I don't mean it as a compliment. I mean, like, I be watching it scared for him, like, nigga, this your job. What you doing? LeBron is open. Just give him the ball. Why are you shooting 3 threes in a row on the same possession that you just missed 2? What are you doing? He's an interesting dude. I've never seen a dude he looked like the most like, I made the money. You know what I'm saying? I've ever seen in my life. He's like, they gave me the money. I don't know what else y'all want from me.
He's one of them words, them old school words. He's aloof. He's an aloof player.
He play ball like, bro, I got my contract being this way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why would I change?
Why would I ever want to play better than this? They giving me money for doing what the fuck I feel like doing. Oh man, but yeah, it's gonna make them a little less exciting to watch though. So, you know, unfortunately for people like me that aren't Lakers fans, but enjoy watching the team play for the entertainment, they just got a little less entertaining, I think.
I think LeBron gets traded this year.
You think he gets traded?
I think he gets traded at the deadline.
Does he take his son with him?
You got to, or then all those fucking stigmas about being a black father going to come in too. Can you imagine, like, you
leave your child behind?
Leave your child behind? They'd be like, just like black men, to fucking not be in their child's life. to go chase whatever. No, he got to take him with him.
Fat Joe gonna have to put him in his next verse. You know,
that'd be funny as shit. Like you get a trade done between an NBA team and there's a custody agreement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like Pursuit of Happiness. Nigga,
like if you want LeBron, you got to take Bronny on the weekends.
Yeah, you gotta at least put him on your G League team, and he get to play one regular game.
Right, that's gonna be in the contract. Trust.
But
you gotta drop him off at his mom's house on Thursdays.
I've always felt the opposite, by the way, which is if I'm Bronny, I can't wait to not be on a team with my dad not involved.
Right.
Be like, no,
I thought that was weird from the beginning.
Dad, go to the Heat. It's cool. You sure you don't want to come with me?
No.
I'm sure.
Yeah, as a kid, the last thing I wanted to do was fucking work around my parents.
You a young rich nigga and your daddy on the plane with you. What's the benefits of that?
You can't do nothing.
Nothing.
You can't do shit.
Rich and famous for no reason. You on the team bus. Team like, hey, we going out to the club. Who all coming? Your daddy coming. I'm good, man.
When your dad go on the field trip and he the one in the group, be like, man, your mom couldn't come.
Right. Bro, it's gotta be. Oh man, we got some hoes coming to the hotel for real. LeBron, look at you. You better not have no hoes coming to the hotel now. You know it's a game night. We got to get up early. And LeBron, like an older, married, responsible nigga too.
Right.
So like, if he was getting hoes, he obviously not gonna get them in front of his son.
Agreed.
Like even if you one of these people that's like, he definitely be cheating on his wife. Whatever you believe, I don't think he's sloppy enough to be cheating on his wife in front of his motherfucking son on the team.
Right.
So it's all bad for Bronny. Either his dad becomes an unfun person for the whole team and him, and he used to be fun and now he's not. Or he's a fucking scumbag who's fucking chicks on the side and your mama getting cheated on. There's never been an upside to this arrangement for Bronny. Oh, I see why they was like, he's only gonna play home G League games. I was like, if I was him, I couldn't wait to go on the fucking road.
Yep.
Couldn't wait. Where you going? Roanoke City Rapids, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Just let's go.
Roanoke City.
Right? Come on.
Let's go play
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Let's go, bitch.
I want to go play the Mad Ants. Why? Because it's not here. My daddy's not here.
Right.
The fuck I care about this. Can we play China? I don't give a fuck where we play. As long as my dad is not on the bus with me, nigga. Oh man. But yeah, that was breaking news. Dom, we've had a good time. I feel like you made up for being late. We kept you long.
I apologize. I thank you guys for having me on. This was a fun thing to get
all right. I feel like, with the FBA stuff, you had to prove your blackness. And so you had to be on triple CP time to show the world.
To make up the difference.
This was brunch. You can't be doing shit at brunch time, dog. I came like it was brunch. This is a brunch pod.
Man, well, look, man, I love you, bro. It's always fun to talk to you. You're one of my favorite people to talk to.
Yes, you are.
Don't be a stranger. The door's always open. You always come kick it like this. It don't have to be no, like, I got a show at Madison Square Garden shit. Just come kick it. Can you tell the people where to catch you? Because I know you're back. You're doing stand-up. You're putting clips out.
Yeah. You can follow my little Twitter IG presence at Mr. Dom Rivera. I won't be a stranger, Miss Barnes. I actually am. If you're in the DC area, New Year's Eve, I will be at a club hosting in the new year, bringing in the new year. I'm closing out the show at Hotbed Comedy. It's in Adams Morgan. Nice crowd, nice place for you to go hang out. And then you can just follow me online, and then I'll figure out if I'm bringing back a podcast or 2025. I'm doing some things, so we'll figure it out here soon.
All right, I do want to. I think is room for an NBA podcast that's just niggas talking. I feel like it's people that don't hate the league but still want to just get in there and talk some shit. I feel like there's a lane for that. I'm watching open up as all the old media niggas and all the new media people are leaving a lane wide open of just, I like this shit.
I like it.
I just want to like talk shit about Dame Lillard not playing championship basketball. I didn't want to get into the ratings. I don't give a fuck about the second apron, nigga.
I don't care about y'all salary caps.
I've never been at a game.
BlueSky. Like we don't BlueSky. We you want to get in the weeds of some shit and not have fun? Take it to that fucking go to Threads. and try to stitch that community together to make it stronger, because it's barely holding on. Don't nobody be on that shit.
Right. I don't even feel like the hose is over there yet. It's
No,
bad.
they not. The hoes ain't over there.
Until the porn is over there, it's not.
Oh, 100%. Yes, exactly. Yeah. How you gonna have a thread and you can't see no porn? Like, I want to see sports, political commentary, crypto, and titties. Like that needs to be like that's my
if you ain't checking out them boxes.
Honestly, your app hasn't made it until I see some non-consensual titties in my timeline. Like, I didn't even ask for these titties.
Yep.
They just in my feed. Like, I'm just scrolling at the gym like, oh shit, close this. What the fuck?
I thought this was my For You, not my following. I gotta give Elon props. Like, I like it when he dropped a little fucking, like, let me drop these titties on your timeline a little bit with the algorithm.
It's gonna be ready either.
It's Monday at 10 a.m. and only just on me is putting her titties on the timeline. I mean, I appreciate it, but that's when your platform has made it. Until then, then BlueSky ain't gonna make it.
BlueSky more like blue balls. There's no action going on over on this fucking chat application. I'm out of here.
If I gotta opt into the titties, that's not the same, y'all. Cause I already know some of y'all motherfuckers are getting on y'all emails right now to type, Brad, you just have to say, add me to Titty Sky. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I want to log in. Yes. Right. I want to log in. I want to scroll. I want to be like, oh shit. Airplane blew up. 181 people died. That's crazy. Oh shit. This NFL player just got CTE. That's insane. Titties. What? Thank you. Oh shit. Dave Chappelle's performing in my area. That's it. That's what social media need to be. BlueSky ain't there yet.
No, they ain't quite there.
All right, y'all. That's it. We'll be back throughout the week. We'll probably see y'all before the New Year's. But tomorrow we have a Hornets game, so probably no show. And if you're premium, new nerd off in your feed for me and Karen recapping our gaming for the year.
Yeah, games.
We just went through Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch, what we played the most, what we enjoyed. It's like an hour-long episode. So if you're a gamer, it's specifically in there for you. Everybody else, get behind the paywall. All right, y'all. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Bye, Dom.